What's good? What's good? We're gonna start in a second. Getting everybody up in here today. Make sure everything is good. Last night we was buffering at the end of the night, but if we had to start over, we got it. Yeah, get the lights up. Appreciate y'all coming in, hitting that like button. What's up, Mike Larry? Hit that like button coming in, guys. I see like 2 likes, 4 people in here. Hit that like button. Get started in a second. I already got Mike on the line. Anybody want to call in that never called in before I call in? Let's talk about what you lose when you cheat, because I know everybody that cheated before. You lost something by cheating. Trying to get these other streams going too while we at it. Get them likes in here. 5 of y'all, 6 of y'all hit that like button at least. If you gonna leave, leave, but hit that like button. Appreciate it. Hit that like button. All right, we back in the house tonight. Got Mike in the building already. What's up, Mike? What's going on, Mike? You back?
Hold on, give me a sec, bro.
Okay. Continue. All right. But yeah, we're going to talk about last night. If y'all missed the show, we was talking about places where people cheat at. And then now we're going to talk about 10 things what you lose when you cheat, because cheating has a price. You know, at the end of the day, if you don't need to cheat, you just need to be by yourself. Be single, be by yourself, love yourself, enjoy yourself. Because when you cheat, you really cheating on your damn self, because you lose a lot of value when you don't, hold on to what your self-respect is. And cheating goes hand in hand. You really, at the end of the day, you think you're getting away with something, but karma's a bitch. It come around and bite you later. And the same thing you put somebody else through, somebody else them they'll put through to you. So I think this is a good topic. I think everybody learned from a cheating experience, either getting cheated on or cheating. Cheating changed people's lives. So, I know a lot of people, it's a sensitive topic because sometimes people are not truthful about their ways or their actions. Everybody paint the picture, and it's always 2 sides to every story. But in the end of the day, is if you're not being truthful with yourself and living your truth, you're cheating on yourself. So make sure that you're being truthful and living your truth when you come to a platform like this. Thank you. I appreciate that. And if you want to come over to Stack 44, we're talking about cheating and stuff. So, yep.
Yeah, I'm back, bro. I'm back. Yeah, but that's real shit what you said, man. Like, when you do shit, eventually you're doing it in the dark, it'll always come out the light. So you gotta be careful what you do.
No, I don't believe in polygamy. Well, basically, she's saying if you believe in having multiple partners, everybody know each other, like multiple wives. How you feel about that, man?
I mean, the whole thing with having multiple wives, I mean, I'm not really okay with it because you already know, with women and emotions, you have to find somebody if they're going to be okay with it. But that's just about as bad as holding a fucking grenade with the pin already pulled. You know what I'm saying? After a while, it's only a matter of time before that shit blow up in your face.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, I know a guy right now. He married the second girl that was in his relationship, and right now he's very insecure because she came in while he had a girl, and she pretty much ended up being the wife, the second girl. So he's very insecure that she's gonna wake up one day and just say, I'm gonna practice hypergamy and I'm gonna cheat on him because when I met him, he was literally having his cake and eat it too. So sometimes, like you said, that grenade is set up for you to like blow yourself up because you could create your own monster by having that type of environment. A lot of times guys as pimps or with multiple women, their weakness and their deep down their weakness and their fear for getting cheated on and losing women, that's one of their biggest fears. They might not show it, but they feel like I don't want to lose her. You feel me? So
yeah, that's true.
So
I mean, I've seen a situation like that happen before, where a dude will have multiple chicks, and even though that chick said she was okay with it, on deep down on the low, when the shit started coming out more and more, like having the chick over, and you already with a girl, but you saying that she's okay, and she might really be okay with it, but as the snowball rolls down that hill in the fucking Himalayas, it starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then before you know it, you fucking literally just got buried in an avalanche full of shit. There's a whole bunch of stuff, That person may not be really okay with it, but they might just be holding it in, and then, when shit's on the flip, who knows, she might come in with a whole nigga or a whole next chick, and, she don't want that chick for you, but you say you practicing polygamy, and, when the shit's on the flip, that dude is just the same as she was okay with it. You got to be okay with somebody, sharing somebody else, man. Me, personally, myself, that's just a recipe of, for disaster. That fucking grenade, man. You already got that. They already, it's like somebody giving you an already pulled pin out of that grenade and handing it to you and say, here, hold this. Mm-hmm. And so there's not a time when that fucking timer go off and boom, that shit's all over the place, man. It's a catastrophe.
Yeah, and I mean, I know we was talking about yesterday the things like my cousin said. Tate, when he called in, he said it's got to be in you to want to be a cheater, no matter what the situation is, and that's right. It's got to be in you. But at the end of the day, a lot of times I feel like we walk in a day and age when people are not living in their truth. So it allows them to play a role on social media or dating apps or anything, and then when they get with somebody, they really have a motive of, oh, he's gonna take care of me. Oh, she's got this going, she got that going on. But at the end of the day, it when you come halfway yourself, you never can be full for somebody else. You know what I mean? So it allows you to always, want to, explore other options, because you look at a woman like half a man come to a woman, he's gonna be thirsty for some other things. She may have all her shit together, everything, but if he don't hit his sexual appetite as a man, he's gonna always remain thirsty. How you feel about that, Mike?
I mean, I'm gonna say it like this: if a dude ain't satisfied with a chick, and he wants, a chick that's on his level, he has to be content with what he's willing to deal with and what he's not willing to deal with. If he's already got a girl and he's not happy with her, and he's constantly looking around, then maybe he just don't need to be with that girl. He needs to go ahead and be with somebody else, or just remain single. But if he's trying to deal with somebody else and he sees another chick, and he goes for that other chick and he's already with a chick, then, you know what I'm saying, he's still not happy. He should just opt out of being in a relationship because he's gonna end up fucking that girl's head up, thinking that he's really for her and she's really for him, and he's just constantly looking around for something because he's still not satisfied. But on the other hand, if he jumps on the other side thinking that the shit's always green on the other side of the fence, the grass is green on the other side of the fence, that may not always be the case. So he might be ending up unsatisfied everywhere he goes. That's his karma for constantly trying to, think with his fucking his little head and not the big head. You know what I mean? Or just about as bad as leading with his wallet, thinking he could always purchase up something else.
And I'll say man weakness is our sexuality, and most time women weakness is hypergamy for like money. Most women will cheat because of a better deal, and then guys would cheat because they just thirsty for some ass. So I don't know if I hit the nail on the head on that. How you feel about that?
I mean, perfect example, bro. Atlanta All-Star Weekend. That's a prime example of fucking hypergamy right there. They think, okay, maybe this will be my chance to win that Cinderella dream and shit. But then you get the dudes out there that be leading with their wallets, and they think, okay, maybe she's a little tighter, she's got a firm body, but for all you know, she could be Mary Riding-Crotch down there and shit. And, she might be hypergamous, but the whole thing is, it's all about the mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, I see them steering clear from common sense. And what they need to be seeing the picture for what it already is. If you trying to go after a chick that's promiscuous like that, not promiscuous is just as far as sexuality, but promiscuous as far as dipping on you and going for the highest bidder or thinking that shit is good on the other side, then that's not the woman you need to deal with. As far as, the woman. But as far as the women, they're figuring, this guy's got a lot of paper. I don't need to be with him, even though the dude I'm with right now is loyal, but he's working on his life and he's not broke. He's trying. Then you deserve to get what you get, because that dude that may got that kind of money and is living that kind of lifestyle may not necessarily want you at the end of the day. You just was played for, and he's going to send you back to your man who's probably already broke. If you feel like you want to jump in the bed with him if he's got bread, it don't always work like that, because as quick as he could get you in there, it's just as quick as he could get your ass out of there.
Yeah, it'd be like Nino Brown. I'll replace you. I'll get you another one.
Word, fuck that chick. I'll buy another one. Next.
All right. Well, you want a woman who makes more money than you. You want to answer that question, Mike?
Not necessarily. I want a woman who's on my level. If she's on my level, not necessarily making more money than me, I mean, that will be okay, but I want a woman that has the same mindset as me. And it's gonna be my peace rather than be my problem.
I don't think a lot my bad to cut you off, but I don't think a lot of chicks understand that, man, at a certain age, we just care about peace. And if we already peaceful and content in our life, no matter what type of money you make, if you don't bring peace, you're a fucking problem, period. But my bad. Go ahead and say what you were saying, Mike.
Nah, man, you're absolutely right. I couldn't have said it better myself, man. Like, a lot of chicks thinking, it's really all about looks. That's a part of it. Finances, that's also a part of it. We're not asking you to be rich. We're not asking you to make a certain amount or be a certain height. We have goals and standards too. But one thing we won't tolerate, when we get to a certain age, it doesn't mean we're necessarily old, but when we get to that sense of maturity, we're like, hey, look, life is already a hard lot. We got a lot of things going against us as far as man, including society, the courts, all that other bullshit. We just want peace. We don't like chaos. I mean, even Pablo Escobar said it. I don't like problems. But he gets rid of all his problems. And the same way, if you're coming in with problems into a relationship, we'll get rid of you, no problem. Because when it comes down to being either alone or having somebody in your life and having problems, we just rather be alone. If you're bringing problems to the table, because we don't need that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I could date a woman making more money than me. She just got to understand what the natural order is. Now, if she's if she's defined by her fucking money, no. But if she's defined about what the natural order is, and understand that the man is the head, the woman's the neck. Understanding if she got $100 and I got $50, we got 150, and she's willing to let a man take over the reins. Cool, but money do not define who you are as a man or a woman. It's your mindset. Because a fool with money will be fully will be fully what you say, aparted, whatever. But departed. But at the end of the day, women are the biggest consumers in the world of spending bread. So to me, you can make more money than me, but it doesn't matter. I might have more assets than you because I put my money in the right places. So that don't make you more valuable than me, because you may spend your money on a bunch of bullshit. Sometimes just as a woman, having your hair, your nails, and all that shit costs almost $600-700 a month, damn near, for some women. So, it is what it is, But, every relationship has its own playbook. And for your relationship to make it, you have to keep your plays secretive to you and your team for you to make it. You can't go off of what relationship over here, relationship over there, even your parents' relationship. You got to go off the relationship you have with that person that you build that foundation with. And that doesn't matter if she makes more money than you make more money than her, she don't work, you work, whatever it is, whatever works for you, that's what you do. Stop using society for standards to set rules in your own life. That's what we got to do. How you feel about that, Mike?
Man, that's a big deal right there, man. A very big deal breaker, because if you got a significant other and they're not on the same track as you, like you said, a person doesn't necessarily have to be defined as far as who makes more money than who. As long as they working on the same plan and working on the same goal, then both sides could achieve. But if you got one person who's being defined about how much money they make or worse, how much of the education that they have, they'll be sadly mistaken when the shit comes down to common sense. Because you could still be an educated dumbass at the same time trying to fucking think you know it all, and it's sad.
Yeah, she said, what if her friends don't think you should be with him because she makes more money than you? Then that means your single friends keep women single. Okay? I think you should just call in and we can have this topic and then we can talk about it. But I'm gonna answer this question, then we're gonna get started with the live stream. But single friends keep women single, period. That, and then you can't go off what society standards are. Like, if you take shortcuts to make your life better with going, like me, I shop at the Goodwill. I got this fucking shirt at the Goodwill, literally. It was like next to a Rule 21, and I guess I don't know what was wrong with it, but it was $3 fucking. And I'm not ashamed to say it because I look good in it and I fit in the shirt. So if I worry about the standards that I got this shirt that was brand new, that was just in a department store, and it was probably a tax write-off for the department store, which was like $35, but I got it for $3, then that's gonna fuck my lifestyle up. That $3 I bought for this shirt then did me well, and I had this shirt since 2015. So is what it is. Like, you worry about what people think, you're not gonna make it in life. You know what I mean? You worry about what your friends think. They're really not your friends if they got something to think all the time. They really just you allow them to be your guy and your whatever. So how you feel about what people think, Mike?
At the end of the day, they can only give their opinion, and it's up to me to make that decision. If I feel like some way they want to have a certain kind of control in my life, then I don't need to be around them, because only the educated are free. If you allow somebody else to run your life and call the shots, don't be surprised if they take your shit behind your back. Those are not your friends.
Facts. All right, so I have another question in the chat, and after this question, we'll start it. And if you guys want to join in, all y'all can call in and join the conversation. All right, this question is, should a brother step out if his girl's not trying to do anything for him? I'll have you answer that, Mike.
If she's not trying to do it, it really depends.
Like doing something for him, you know.
Huh?
Now, if she's not trying to do nothing for the guy,
If she's not trying to do nothing for the guy, what does that pertain to? Like sex? She's not trying to, help him elevate.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, he should bring his concerns to her and have it addressed. If she's not willing to address it, rather than step out on her, I would just, I wouldn't say keep the relationship in limbo, but give it a certain amount of time. And if she's not willing to progress or do anything, then, it's just time to let that relationship go. Then work on yourself to find out, where you went wrong at and really determine who is in your corner and if that's the person that you really want, because maybe she's just not right for you.
Uh-huh.
She might be right for somebody else. She may not just be right for you. So I would say give it some time, address the concerns, what you have to really talk to her about, and let her know what you would really like to have, worked on.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't want to do anything about it, then, just give it some time, like, kind of back away from it. And then, end the relationship if you don't see any improvement. That's the only thing I could say, really.
All right. We got Big Rich calling in. Let's see. What's going on, Big Rich?
My bad, dog, man. I forgot about the time changer, bro.
Yeah, it's all good. We just getting started. We ain't got really started with the list yet. We were just answering some questions in the chat, and the guy asked, should a guy step out on his woman if she's not trying to do anything for him? And I'm going to say something before I let you go ahead on this one, Rich, is relationships are reflective. If a person supposed to compliment you, not complicate you. If a person can't compliment your program as a man and she just there like a dead fish, then what's the purpose in the first place? You know what I mean? So if she's not going to help your life and mess your life up, you got to realize that it takes two to tangle. But at the end of the day, if she's going to compliment your life, then you need to get rid of her, because she's going to complicate your life. You need to get rid of her. She's supposed to be complimenting your life. So what you got to say on that, Rich?
Amen to that, brother. I came in late, but I'm all the way there on that one, man. She's not trying to do anything, and she's essentially a problem. She's holding you back. She's distracting you from your purpose, from your direction in life, man. So it's time to go ahead and 86 that, man. Get on out of there. It's better to be by yourself and be lonely than to have a problem that you got to fight.
Mm-hmm. And
if she ain't holding you down, she's slowing you down, bro.
For real.
Dig it.
Yeah, woman ain't holding you down, she's slowing you down. And a woman's job is to be a helpmeet. That don't mean she's your God. Just think about that. You put a woman on a pedestal, you lost sight of everything you need to do as a man. And how she's gonna find a man if she becomes the mission, how you gonna get any type of submission? That's just what it is.
Right. Yep.
What's up, Catherine? I see you called in today. What's going on? Well, you called yesterday too.
Yeah, I did.
I'm so used to, last week we missed you, so I gotta give you a hard time today.
Man, it's all good. I just got back off these streets and stuff, so
okay.
Called in.
I'm staying in the street lately, girl. What's happening with that?
Well, it is spring break, and I got my kids up out of here, so I can do it now. Yeah, I took them to my people's house because it's spring break, so.
I hear you.
Right.
All right, that's cool. So we're going to get started. We got the whole panel here at least. And if anybody else want to add in, if you new, call in. We'll love for you to call in and vibe with us. Any more questions, we might answer them during the live. But that was some pretty good questions. We had one lady, I'll go to Rich and I'll go to Catherine about this. That she asked, should a man care if a woman make more money? And then if her friends is giving a hard time that she makes more money than the dude that she's dating, should that even matter in her life? And I'll start with Catherine on this one. Could you date a man that you make more money? And if your friends cared about your lifestyle, you dating a guy with less money than you, how you feel about your friends?
if I did date a guy that I made more money than him, I would hope he would be okay with it, and that wouldn't be a problem. And I definitely wouldn't care what my friends thought, because my friends ain't got to, they not in our relationship, so I wouldn't let that, make a difference what they had to say about it. But hopefully my man that I'm dating wouldn't have an issue if I made more money than him.
Okay, so it ain't no problem for you moving forward that you make more money.
No.
And you still will follow his lead and everything, regardless.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What you got on this, Big Rich?
It's a nice idea, but in my lifelong experience, and it can happen. You can get with a woman that makes more money than you. However, it's not going to last, because at the end of the day, she's not going to respect you. A woman can say, okay, I can make more money than my man and everything's going to be all good. At some point, she's going to feel a sense of superiority, and she's going to let you know that she's not happy with you steering the ship. And she's going to tell you that, hey, well, I make X amount, you make this amount, why we got to go this way? And at that point, when you buck in the tide like that, then that's the relationship's over. As far as I'm concerned. Now, there's just, as far as, I don't feel insecure if a woman is making more money than I am, because I'm a man, and I'm a man all day. I'm a man first. However, a woman is not going to be able to submit to you in the long run. If she does make more money than you, she's going to lose a little bit of respect for you at some certain point in time when that one thing, and it doesn't take anything major, with that one thing that she wants to do.
Hold on. I'm gonna let this call come through. Let's see. I got a screen shit. Hello?
Hello?
What's up? Hold on. Let me add you in.
Okay.
Yeah, who we got here calling in? Hello?
Hello?
All right. We got you on the line. Who's this?
This is Michelle.
Okay. All right. Nice that you called in, Michelle. I'm going to let Big Rich continue, and then we'll add you in the conversation. Go ahead, Big Rich.
Yeah, so, at the end of the day, like I say, there's no problem. If you're a secure man, you're going to be secure, but it's going to be something, and it may not be, you think, the biggest thing in the world, but the minute that there's something is not going to go her way and she doesn't want to feel like following your lead, a woman's going to feel a certain sense of superiority if she is making that kind of money over you, and she's gonna buck the tide. At that point, there is no relationship as far as I'm concerned, because I'm the captain of the ship, not saying that I'm a dictator and not saying that I'm superior to a woman, but it's my lead, and I'm looking for cooperation. And at the end of the day, a woman that's making more money doesn't really matter in the sense in a relationship, because 90% of the time, you're still going to be the one that when the check comes to the table, you're going to take care of it. You're going to be the one when the mortgage comes, you're going to be the one that's going to pay it. And as a man, I don't see how you can really feel comfortable as a man relying on your woman taking the lead, because at that point, to me, you have a mother. You don't have a mate. So at that point, I've never seen it survive. I've seen it happen, and I've seen women get with men, and they make more money than the man, but it doesn't last in the long run. In my 52 years, it doesn't last.
Okay. All right. So I ain't gonna lie. This one thing I want to say before I let Michelle chime in or what she want to say. A lot of times, I know in the Black community, it's kind of hard for that to happen, for a man to make less money than a woman. But in these other communities, they be perfectly fucking fine with whatever they make. You know what I'm saying? From what I experienced is, I know a lady that's a doctor, and her husband do cyber research, and she's fine with being a breadwinner, but she's fine to take on the reins and giving it to him. So like I said earlier before, it would depend on what playbook you guys are running. But to be honest, people shouldn't really know your plays in the first place. So a lot of times people should know how much you and your girl make or whatever. That's just my thing. Everybody should have their finances private in the first place. But I get what you're saying, Rich. But you want to add on, Michelle? Anything you want to add on that we talking about right now before we start the question? Oh, well, start the 10 things about cheating.
Yeah. So, I'm a woman. Well, me as a woman, I've dated men that I've made more money than, and I think it's more of an issue with the man if he knows. I kind of agree with you when you say you should keep your finances private. So when you first start dating someone, of course, you're just not about to just, throw all your business out there. But I also feel like money should not be a reason to figure out if a relationship is going to work or not. I think that once you find that person that you're going to be with, and regardless of whatever kind of money you make, I feel like there has to be understanding that it shouldn't be looked at as like, this is my money, this is your money. I don't know. I kind of look at it as, if we're together, I'm the type of woman, I can't speak for all women, but I'm the type of woman that if I'm with you, regardless of whatever money I make, I'm never going to feel like I'm superior to this man. I'm above him because I make more money than him. So if he says something because I'm making more money than you, I don't have to listen to you, or I'm have a problem with what you want. I think that's a poor attitude, and I think that shows what type of woman you're dealing with. And if you are just so happen to deal with a woman and she does make more money than you, it's just all about the type of person she is. Like, some people let money control, who they are and how they act and things like that. And I do believe that there is a lot of women that do make more money than men. They do that, like what he was saying. I don't remember his name, but I agree with him on that. But I also just think it just depends on the type of person you're dealing with, because I've never thought that I was, a leader over a man. And I've been married before, and even in my marriage, I ended up making more money than my ex-husband, and it was never an issue because it was, this is our household, so everything is considered one. But that's another story, because that's when you get married. But even with dating, I just think that it just depends on the character of the person. I just feel like if a person is throwing their weight and their attitude based off of the amount of money that they have, I personally wouldn't even want to deal with someone like that. So that's just my opinion.
All right.
That's real shit. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I've seen a lot of situations where, arguments, especially between married couples or couples that are in a union, together. And maybe it could be a certain situation that comes up, like, okay, I make a certain amount, or I make more than you, or I don't make enough and I shouldn't have to, pay or something like that. I've even experienced a situation like this. Like, I had a girl, right? And we were dealing with each other. And the whole thing is, I was making most of the money. I wasn't demanding anything from her, but I did let her know from the jump, when we got into a relationship, since we're living together, this is how much, we each have to come out to, to contribute to the household. She didn't even see it that way. You know how some people say, well, I make a certain amount, so I don't have to listen to you. Well, I dealt with it. Shit could be on the flip. I dealt with a situation where an individual was making a decent amount of money, and so was I. I was making more than enough. That's besides the point. She didn't feel like she needed to contribute to the household because she didn't make as much as me. So she figured, since I made more than her, that she shouldn't have to pay for certain things. And that could also be another flip. I just wanted to put in my 2 cents on that shit too.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, we're going to get to the topic at hand, and I'm going to go around the panel and ask who you think cheat more, and I'm going to talk to the women and men. But, I think 10 things we lose when people do cheat. I have cheated before. It wasn't a good thing because I lost some things with my ex-wife, I'll say. And we repaired things, but also before I even married, I had relationships that I felt like I cheated, but I didn't cheat like that. I wasn't habitual to cheat, like always cheating. But I knew as a single man, if I know I'm not going to be able to pair bond with a woman the correct way, I don't even get in relationships, because what's the point? you really cheating on yourself. So moving forward, Big Rich, I'm gonna ask you, brother, who you think cheat more, and have you ever cheated on somebody?
Well, first off, I'll tell you about my own personal experience. I cheated on somebody back in the day. I cheated one time, and it didn't make me feel good. And I said after that I wasn't going to ever cheat on anybody again because I saw what it did to her. However, put it on the flip side, I've been involved in relationships that there's been a lot of infidelity going on, and I was the guy on the side.
Okay.
I was the one on the outside of the relationship, helping somebody else be not being faithful to their mate. So I've had a lot of that happen, and I've seen it destroy things. At the end of the day, while I was living that life there, I found myself just soulless. I felt empty. You know, and I felt a great sense of guilt because I saw what it did to some of the dudes. If I ever had any respect for myself, I wouldn't have done the things that I did, because the way that them guys got done, I was a part of that, man. It wasn't, you can't say it's all, well, that was a bad woman, you know, and of course she was a bad woman. She didn't have respect for her old man, or she wouldn't have been doing the things she was doing with me. I was a part of that, so it made me feel like crap, man. I think that you lose a big part of yourself, man. You put a big hole in your soul when you engage in that. Either way.
All right, Catherine, are you engaged and cheating on somebody? And, you know, what was the other question? What did I say before? I lost train of thought because that was deep. Big Rich.
We know Catherine get down.
Catherine,
no, that's not true. No, Catherine do not get down like this.
All right, so how do you cheat on somebody, and do you you know, what the fuck was the question? But go ahead, Catherine. I'll figure it out.
Who you think cheat the most?
Oh yeah, who you think cheat the most, man or women?
I do think that men cheat the most, so I'm gonna answer that. I think men cheat more.
Hold on, we got Big Rich. Hold up, before you go, Big Rich, who cheat the most, men or women?
I think it's I have to go ahead and say it's a 50-50, because we, as fellas, we're not innocent, but women are the gatekeepers of sex. All these men that are always accused of running around, oh girl, he cheated on me, we broke up because he cheated. I got divorced, we got divorced because he cheated, girl, he ain't shit, he cheated. Well, who was he cheating with? There's got to be women out there that's cheating with these dudes. So at worst it's 50-50. It's one balances out another, bro.
Okay.
You know
all
what
right.
I'm saying? That's just the way it is. Now we can say, like I said, every time you run into somebody, oh, he cheated on me. He cheated on me when you go in the beauty shop. Oh, girl, he was cheating on me. Girl, that man cheated on me. He ain't shit. But he was cheating with somebody. And you can't tell me all these niggas is gay. All right.
If she gonna drop it, drop it. If she gonna take it.
All right, Catherine, what you got? My bad for cutting you off. So who you said man cheat more, and then have you ever cheated?
I have cheated before. I have, and I did it one time, and I wasn't. I felt really regretful of it, so I've only done it once. But I'm not a cheating woman. So it was and that was a situation I don't even want to get, because I mean, what could really justify cheating? Like I said, I felt bad about it. I did it, but that's not me. So the situation that I was in, I did it, and I'm not proud of it. And, you know, it's just it is what it is. I did, but I still think that men cheat more.
Okay.
But that's just my opinion. So,
right.
You know.
Mike, what you got? You cheated on a woman, and who you think cheat more?
Man, I was a low down, dirty motherfucker, snake. Like I honestly, the way how I it happened to me is the fact that I got snaked. So I was just like, well, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? If this chick don't want to, you know what I'm saying, be in a relationship with me or whatever, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Salute. I'm going to go run up in the next fucking thing that, you know, that treat me right. And I just ended that shit and then kept it moving. But at the same time, as the years went by, you know, I realized that you have to respect yourself and furthermore, have respect for the relationship. The individual that I was dealing with at that time, unfortunately, didn't have respect for our relationship, which caused me to go left because I was feeling some kind of way. But then at the end of the day, when I sat there, when everything was all said and done, I ended that same relationship with the person that I cheated on, and then ended up hurting them, unfortunately, because at the same time, after seeing what I was seeing, I just wanted to be by myself. Like I didn't really appreciate what I did, and I come to the conclusion, and I came to my senses as a man, as far as having respect for myself, not just for that other person, because the other person was treating me like shit. So at that point, I said, you know what? I'm gonna have respect for myself. I'm not gonna fuck around no more. I'm just gonna work on myself, realize where I fucked up at by dealing with this individual, and at the same time, I think I got my karmic debt back to me, not by fucking around or having somebody else fuck around on me. I got blessed for that in some kind of way, because at one point when one of my friends was thinking about fucking around on his girl, I told him, I said, think about it like this. At the end of the day, when you go ahead and you bust that nut, you know what I'm saying, and you do whatever you want to do to that girl, was it really worth it? Was it really worth it cheating on that individual? Or you could have just said, hey, look, I don't want no more parts of this shit, and I'm just going to live my life right and be done with it. Whatever comes, the chips are going to fall where they may. At the end of the day, what did I do to contribute to making myself a better individual rather than just adding to the problem?
Right. All right, so who cheat more then, Mike?
Me, personally, myself, in today's society, I hate to put it on you, Cat, but I think it's the ladies. But the dudes just follow into that shit because it has to be an overall disclosure on both ends, since women are the gatekeepers of sex and the men are going to pursue regardless. I think it leads on both sides, but mainly with the women, hey, you know, it's fair season, especially if she's not feeling you no more, she's going to go for that other dude. Personally, from my experience, I think it's the ladies that have the invitation to let it happen. They allow it to happen. But with the fellas are going to pursue it. But if they know that Shorty if Shorty has a man, the first thing he'll try to say is, hey, is he treating you right? You know, that's like an invitation. It's like a solicitation for, do you still want to get down even though you fucking with him? So it's a real nasty world out there, man. But I think the ladies, they have an open invitationness to do it. You know, they have an open invitationness to do it, to allow it to happen if she feels that way, if the dude is not treating her right, you know, and she could hide it better than a man can.
Yeah, they're the better cheaters.
I gotta tell you something, brother.
Go ahead.
I did a little cheating on that last question, to be honest, because not to bring up another content creator in this, but I did a little research after I got off of a stream listening to a content creator with the initials KS, and you know who I'm talking about. But from the United States Census Bureau, man, it's 60-40 on that cheating thing, and it's the majority are women. But like I said, that's not far off. It's not that.
Well, we gotta look at the difference that it's about 2 million more women than men in the world.
Yeah.
So we gotta look at that too. So,
but can I say something? But then we thinking about people. Okay, cheating is when you in a relationship with somebody. So I could be wrong because I'm a woman, but a lot of my friends that they may cheat because a lot of my homegirls out here that say that they cheat. If they do go out and mess with another guy, it's because their guy, the mess over them. Most women is not just going out if they got them a good man and that man is doing right by them. Why would they go out and cheat on that man? Now it happens. I'm not saying that that's impossible because there's some women out here that just don't give a fuck and they raw. They gonna go wherever. But I'm saying majority of the women, if they got them, they self a good man and he doing whatever, doing everything that they like for them. Why would they go out and cheat? So that's why I say that women.
Side, Catherine. If a man has a good woman.
Because men have good women all the time, and they ass is cheating left and right. I won't believe that one.
And that's how you feel, and that's great. But the Census Bureau proves it. It's not a thing, and it's not about something I'm about to start arguing because we're just having a dialogue anyway. But this is not something of what I feel or what I've observed. This is the Census Bureau.
Yeah.
And I hear that too.
It's 64.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's don't get lost in the sauce. Let's get Michelle's take on how she cheated and do she think men or women cheat more? What you got, Michelle?
Yeah. So, me personally, no, I haven't cheated before. I have been cheated on, and I honestly, as a woman, I do feel like women have more of an opportunity to cheat. I'm just saying because, it just is what it is. I definitely just think it is easier for a woman to go out there and do something. And there has been times and situations where if I wanted to, or if I wanted to be like that, I definitely could have and probably could have gotten away with it. So I would say that my opinion on who cheats more, I think nowadays it's really 50-50. I don't think that it's really, one would cheat more than the other, but I do just feel like women do have more of an opportunity. And I also feel like, it's a choice with cheating. And, like Catherine was saying, I was with a man and I didn't cheat because in my mind, he was doing everything right. He was taking care of home. He was home every day. He was a good father, to our children. My ex-husband, he was doing everything right. So in my mind, I'm like, it never crossed my mind to be like, oh, let me go cheat on this man. But in the reality was, no matter how, good of a wife I was, or I thought I was to him, he was cheating, and it just is what it is. So I don't put it past anybody. I think anybody can cheat, and it's a choice. And I just think that it's more than, I don't know, for some people it is just a physical thing. They just want to be with multiple people. But I feel like that's when you should just not be in a relationship. For me, I would rather just end the relationship than to sit out here and be worrying about going to be with this man and that man. I don't have time for that. So it just depends on the person. And some people, they get a kick out of it. They get a thrill. And some people just don't know no better. That's just what they choose to do. And then some people accept it. Some people deal with men, being out here being with multiple women. So I think it just depends on the person and what you're willing to accept. But I don't think that one cheats more. I just think anybody can cheat. So I would say it's 50-50 in my opinion. But on the slight end, I do think that women do have more of an opportunity if we wanted to and get away with it more than men. So I feel like men are not as calculated and careful with it, but
men are stupid. We were bad liars. That's what it is.
All right, so Michelle, you said you was like, he was like a house. Whatever. He came home every day. So how did you catch up with?
He did a good job. So his thing was and it was years. Come on now, I wasn't 2 months in the game. I was with him for 10 years. I didn't find out the year 8, that he was cheating because he was very good at it. What he did was he, got the schedule down pat, and he knew the things. He kind of learned me. He knew the things that I would think about and look for. And then also, I will say this too: I'm not the type of woman that's about to go through your phone. I'm not doing all that. If I gotta go through your phone and question you every 5 minutes, I'm not about to be with you. It's too much energy. So if I don't trust you and I got to do all that, that's another thing. I was the type of wife that was like, okay, my man is my man. I trust him. You can't come and tell me nothing about my man, period. So I didn't think that he was ever doing that. And it took for me to have physical evidence that that's what he was doing. And for me, it wasn't even the fact that he cheated. I could have worked it out, with the cheating, but the issue was that you didn't tell me. I had to find out. You didn't come clean and you didn't tell me. You told me because you got caught, not because you really wanted to tell me and be honest. So for me, it was more of a trust thing where I couldn't deal with it anymore. So I just think that it's different, for all people. But some people are really good at cheating. Some people were good at it. Because he was one of those rare people that was really good at it.
Okay.
So,
Can I ask you something? I got that. When you caught him cheating and you confronted him with it, at that point, did he admit it or did he deny it at that point?
At that point, he admitted it when he got caught.
Oh, he did? Okay. That's a breaking point a lot of times with a lot of women, because I found that a lot of women will work through that infidelity, but when the man, most of the time men they get caught, they end up still lying about it, and that makes you look more disgusting and weak.
Yeah, he didn't tell me the whole story, but
Can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Okay, 2 questions I have for you, right? When it came down to being in your relationship and you were out by yourself, out and about, this is just random going to the store, shit or whatever. How many times did you get approached by men who was trying to get with you?
Oh, that's all the time. It's an everyday thing.
Okay. Now, second question. When the whole relationship and he admitted to cheating, did he at least say why he did it? What was the motive behind him doing that? Like, was he feeling like he wasn't getting enough love, or was he getting, he just wanted to be free like that?
Okay, no, I'll share that with you. So, his cheating didn't have anything to do with me. Once everything was out and open on the table, all that, it didn't have anything to do with me. It was an issue that he had within himself. No, I'm not going to say I was perfect, and I'm not going to say that, I didn't, I'm not going to say I gave him a reason because it's a choice, but it wasn't because of something that I wasn't giving him because, I'm just going to say it. Everything that he needed, I was faithful, I was committed, I was loyal, no issues in the bedroom, great mom, contributed, you know what I'm saying? I let him, lead and everything.
You just agreed, motherfucker. That's all he was.
Yeah, he had an issue within himself, and it was something that he was doing from the beginning. Since when I first started dating him, all the way until we got married, he shouldn't have even married me. Like, I don't even know why we got married, but it was something that was going on from the beginning. It was always going on. So no matter how good or how perfect I thought I was, this was something that this man was doing, and he did it very good. He hit it very, very well.
What the fuck he was cheating at?
Once he got caught and I found out that he was doing it, and I asked him, I was like, so this is what we doing? He couldn't lie about it because I had proof. So he couldn't lie about it. But he did lie initially about how many women. He lied about that part. And that didn't come out until after he accepted the fact of what he did and after he realized that he made a mistake. And once he was able to look himself in the mirror and say, damn, I fucked up. That's when he realized what he did. And that's when he was able to be clean about it. And once he was able to tell me the truth about everything, then that's when I made a choice. And my choice was for me to give you 10 years of my life and to be who I was to you. I didn't even know you. I felt like I was with a stranger. So for me, it wasn't good enough. And I just felt like I deserved way better than only getting this information because I caught you. When the wife that I was, you could have just came clean and came to me and said, look, I've been doing this. I got a problem. I would have worked it out with you.
Right.
We didn't have any.
We don't want no smoke now. Don't beat us up on that damn panel, girl. We didn't cheat. No.
But yeah, I'm just saying that's just me. Like, yeah, cheating was not a reason that I won't say that I only divorced because of cheating. That wasn't the case. It was a trust. I'm not going to be with a man I can't trust, and that trust is broken. So that's just what it was.
All right, so we're gonna get started with the list of 10 things that cost you from cheating. And the first thing I know we got all the way left, but we good. We on track. The first thing could cost you is your family. And the bond of your kids seeing a blueprint or a family even starting, period. So I'm gonna start with Big Rich. I know he old school in the game. How you feel about, when you cheat, you can lose your family? How you feel about that, Big Rich?
Gee, thanks, Stack. I appreciate you calling me an old man.
Yeah, I say you're the OG in the game. That's all I said.
Anyway, man, it's like this. It doggone sure do. And in my situation, in my marriage, I was married for 10 years, and she's the one that cheated on me. But it destroyed everything because, especially if you have children, which I had 3 of them, man, and you lose, you lose all the way around because you're not the only one losing. You and her are losing. The children are losing. It destroys everything, brother. It destroys everything, financial, emotionally. Like I say, spiritually, it's a big hit, man. And I had to get up out of there because at that point, a woman not being faithful to me, that's just it's a deal breaker, man. And I had to get on out of there. Like we've talked before about this, Stack. I had to get out of there because when I said to myself, okay, well, I'm going to try to stay for the sake of my kids, and I'm going to try because I grew up without a father in the house. It was just to the point where I found myself mistreating her, not talking to her respectfully, calling her out of her name. And when I started doing that in the presence of my children, when they were in the house, I knew that this is going to lead to something else, and it's not going to be pretty. So I got to get up and got to get out of here, man. It blew everything up, man. It blew my whole life up, man. So when your family's gone, that's deep, bro.
All right, Mike, how you feel about this family thing? When you cheat, you can lose your family, and I know you got kids, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, I never really had that problem. I was mostly the faithful one out in the end, but I believe that it does have a detrimental effect of, having offspring like that, witnessing and seeing things because they absorb a lot of information in their growing stages from infancy to when they start to go into the teenage younger years. And if they see that somebody else is cheating, especially somebody else that's supposed to love and care for them, upon the separation, then that's when it really starts to affect the offspring as far as what's going on. Because, when they see that, they might think it's okay to do that. And it's not okay. So if they get caught up in that, witnessing that, seeing that, God forbid if later on down the line after seeing that, they start doing it too. It's like a cancer. That shit will transfer on and on and on and on. So since they saw their father cheating on their mother, they might go ahead and do it in their relationship. And then their kids might see that and it'll pass on from generation to generation like a curse. So the best thing to do is if you're going to do something like that, it's always better to end the relationship in honor, to know that you backed away and that, there's no relationship you can walk away with a clear conscience and not have a negative effect on anyone else, especially bringing them into this world.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a cycle with that. So I'm gonna go to Catherine on this one. So how you feel about losing your family and cheating? Because I know you've been married before too, Catherine.
Yeah, I agree with Rich and Mike on what they say. Cheating definitely can lead to destroying families, and that's the one thing. I think it's a selfish act to do that because you want to keep in mind when you go out and you do that act of cheating, what it can cause, especially if you have, your family. You don't want to put that in just for your own selfish reasons, and so cheating is a self thing. So I think when people do that and they go out and cheat, it's very selfish because you're not thinking of your family and what can come out of that. So many things can come out of cheating. People get killed behind cheating. Diseases get passed behind cheating. Hurt and all that pain, all kind of things come out of cheating.
We're going to get to those in a second, but we talk the family aspect. We won't just talk on the family aspect, but I appreciate that, though.
That's all those things that come with it. But yeah, I think families can be destroyed. They have been destroyed because of cheating.
Okay. Michelle, what you got on the family aspect of cheating?
I agree with everybody. I think that it definitely can destroy your family. Even from my experience, I chose to try my best to prevent that. So I made sure that my kids can get as much time with their dad as possible, and trying to make it equal so that it doesn't feel like it's so much of a change for them. Coming from a 2-parent household to now having a co-parent. So I think that it definitely can destroy a family, but I also think that, even if you can't work it out, or 2 people deciding we're not going to be together because of that, then if you have children, I feel like both people should definitely try to make it as easy for those kids and to transition that. So I agree with that.
You are so commendable for that, sister. I appreciate you, and I have to salute you for that, because so many times children are forgotten that, and a whole lot of times women choose to weaponize the relationship of children against their husbands, even if they're wrong.
Right.
To be commended for trying to nurture that and think about that, because that's very rare.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is very rare. And I'm gonna say, with my situation, I couldn't trust my ex-wife no more with the finances or financial. And sometimes I just look at my son and be like, damn, man, she threw it all away because she couldn't be financially honest, and that's a different form of cheating, financial cheating too, because it's other form of cheating. But I really felt bad for my legacy and the blueprint of my son seeing a blueprint of parents. So now I got to do the best I can do as co-parent, and hopefully that he understands grandmother and grandfather was married. Fortunately, her parents is married, that he won't be like how we were, or don't, you always, we don't realize how much effect we have on the kids when the blueprint's not there. They going to do what they see, you know what I mean? So they'll be quick probably not to fight for their relationship, because they be like, mommy and daddy got split up, so I can get split up with my husband. So, but, that's something that we got to, still install in our kids, is honesty and the truth about, it didn't work out, but you can one day have a husband or a wife one day. So, but moving on to the next thing, and I think Catherine already touched on it, is life. You can lose your life with this cheating thing. It's been several people that probably got caught in the act of cheating, and the husband went in and killed the wife and the wife and the girl, the wife, or the mistress, or whatever. I remember the movie Shawshank Redemption, when the guy, he caught his wife cheating, but he didn't kill him. But long story short, he went to jail for something he didn't do. But this stuff happens when people lose their life because of cheating. And to me, I feel like it's a shame that people don't be honest about, do they have a partner? Because sometimes people get killed and they don't even know they're dealing with somebody's wife or husband. So I'm going to start with Catherine on this, because she brought it up. How you feel? Do you know anybody that lost their life with doing this cheating thing?
No, I don't know anyone personally that lost their life, but I know people that have, had come where it was fights broke out, and that could have been caused the life, but to be lost, with fighting and chasing somebody down, all kind of stuff like that. And that way, thankful no one lost their life behind it. But yeah, it's rare. It's a dangerous thing when cheating is dangerous. Let's just put it like that. It's a very dangerous thing to engage in. And that's why I don't do it. Like I said, I did it one time and I've never wanted to do it again. And I don't feel good about that. And I don't like to deal with men that's in relationships with somebody. I want a man to deal with me to be straightforward, because I let me decide whether or not, because there's plenty of women out here that don't give a damn if you got a woman. They'll just go ahead and be with you anyway. But I like for a man to be honest and let me know, so I know what I'm dealing with and what I'm up against, because that's wrong to do that. So I agree, a man and a woman should tell whether or not they really dealing with somebody. Let that person make the choice whether or not they want to deal with them in that way.
All right. Mike, you got anything on people losing their life over cheating?
Well, just a couple years ago, about 5 years ago, my cousin, he actually ended up shooting. He ended up shooting somebody in the face with some shit because my cousin, he ended up going to prison after his girlfriend cheated on him. And the dude didn't know who he was, but the dude tried to turn around and attack my cousin. So my cousin turned around and shot him in the face. It was gruesome. And I had another cousin from my late uncle, and this motherfucker committed suicide, man. He jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge because his girl didn't want to be with him no more because she had found somebody else.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? It was that deep. Nobody even know that he committed suicide. All he did was just talk to, his baby moms. And, the nigga jumped off the bridge. You know what I'm saying? I know some people might think it's funny, but that shit's not funny. He had a lot to lose, but he didn't know what he had to really live for. Instead of just talking it out with a family member, he took his own life. He figured that the world wasn't worth going on anymore because his chick had cheated on him and didn't think nothing of it.
All right. Well, Michelle, we're going to go to you next. We go to Rich last. You got any experience of people losing their life over cheating or knowing that people that got hurt for cheating?
I don't personally, but I definitely can see how a person can, snap, or you thinking you in love and walk in and you see somebody with somebody. I can see how people go there, but I don't have any experience with that.
Okay. Big Rich, what you got on somebody losing their life because of cheating?
Yeah, man, sad to say I know a couple situations where it's happened, man. One of my father's old friends ended up losing his life beefing with this guy about this woman he was swerving around town with, man, and got caught up, and they ended up seeing each other out at a bar, and dudes had beef, man, and old boy, cut him across the neck, and he passed away. And then my older cousin, with his simp ass, he's in prison for the rest of his life now because his bitch ass caught his old nasty old lady cheating on him, and he shot this nigga, man. And come to find out, after all was said and told, he didn't even know that this bitch was married, man. He had no idea. He thought he was up in their apartment, and he thought that she was by herself. As a matter of fact, she had took all the pictures of him and her down off the wall, and on the TV had turned all the pictures down. It looked like she was there living by herself. And they had 2 kids, man. That's what the tragic thing about it is. But this nigga went and killed this dude, man. Left her. She the one cheated on him. He didn't. This guy lost his life, man. He had no idea. And she even admitted it. That this guy had no idea that she was even married, dog.
Damn. The things you lose when cheating, man. R.I.P. to the people that lost their life on that stuff, man. That's some deep shit. My boy Golden Child in the building. What's up, Golden Child? I want to say something to my guy in the chat. Salute to my boy Golden Child. He keep it going. If anybody coming in on the other live stream, you can come in on the Stack 44. We on YouTube, Stack 44 on YouTube, and you could join the conversation. I think we got a full panel, but if you want to add something, go ahead, call in. All right, so the next thing, I'm going to talk about is a person that may lose their job by cheating. I talked about this yesterday where people cheat, and one of the first places I talked about was at the workplace. And a lot of times people cheat at the workplace more than any place, but then they can actually lose their career, their job, because they're cheating, So I'm gonna start with I'm gonna start with Michelle on this one. Do you know people that cheat on a job, or any experience of people losing their job by cheating?
Yeah, absolutely. And my ex-husband, that's where he did cheating at the job. 9 to 5. So you ain't thinking nothing going on there, but everything was. So one of the girls that he had relations with, she called up to the job, and it was a whole mess. And I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just disgusting. It's like, you deal with a man, he's married, and then when you don't get the result you want, at the job, I guess she felt like she was supposed to be treated with special treatment because, he was her boss or whatever. So she got upset, and she, did all this stuff or whatever, trying to break his job and stuff, which eventually I ended up finding out about that. And in my opinion, it's just, like I said, I was just disgusted by it because it's like, this is your job where this is how you make your income, take care of your family, and for a woman, you're dealing with a woman who don't even care about messing that up, even if, she thought that you was going to come to her or whatever. But you could definitely lose your job, especially if you're dealing with people on the job. I don't know. I just think it's just best to not mix those two things, in my personal opinion, because people, they get angry. And if you cheating and you're dealing with a married man on top of that, I don't see why most of these women think that the man gonna leave his wife. And I don't get that, but that's just the way people think. So yeah, that's all I gotta say on that.
I'm gonna answer a question in this other chat. They're calling in on Stack 44 on YouTube. The call-in number is in the description, and I'll put it in the chat. So join Stack 44 on YouTube, and I'll put the number in the chat. Or Golden Child, can you put the number in the chat for me? But I'm gonna go ahead and go to Big Rich on this one. How you feel about the job? Shitting where you eat at.
Like I told you yesterday, I had that experience when I was younger, and it's never ever a good idea. But just to share another statistic with you, 70% of men, when they cheat on their spouses, 70% of those are someone in the workplace. Because you think about it, man, and that's from the Census Bureau. That's not my own thoughts there. You can Google, everybody got Google, look it up, man. But because you think about it, you spending more time, and like I said, guys are stupid when they cheat. We cheat because our dick get hard. Women cheat a lot. Most of the time, women cheat is because of something they're lacking. There's a lot of hoes out here, but most of them, it's not about being hoes. They're missing something in their relationship, and they're looking for it somewhere else. That's why they cheat. We just cheat because we want to get it wet. So when you spend more time with someone at your job, you spend more waking hours in your day with people at your job than you actually do at home with your spouse and your children. This is why 70% of them actually will be workmates. And I've known a lot of men that have lost their jobs because of their girlfriends or their wives showing up to the job, raising hell because he's cheating. I've seen guys lose their job because they're messing around with someone at the job, and they get into it at some point, don't see eye to eye, and they bring that personal stuff in there. So it's just never a good idea to shit where you eat, man.
All right. Catherine, what you got on the job, workplace, or even in the military? I know you've been in the military. What you got with both of them? Have people lost deployment because they was cheating or anything like that?
Oh yeah. People definitely got rank taken away from them for infidelity and stuff when they get put out. Definitely that goes on a lot in the military, and also just on regular jobs. I done had people, even before it even got to the cheating, people done lost their jobs because they could turn into sexual harassment. Like the woman, the husband, the spouse find out, and the other spouse that was getting the advances or whatever from the other person be like, I wasn't even trying to get this. He was like harassing me. I done saw people lose their job behind that. If the other spouse find out this person is trying to get with their spouse, and they bring it to attention, then the person turn around and say, well, even if they were engaging on with it, because I know a chick that did that, and she was actually giving him to do the attention and stuff, and she turned around and said that he was sexually harassing her. He ended up losing his job because his wife actually found out about it. I think she saw a few of the text messages between them, and he ended up losing his job behind that.
All right, Mike, what you got on the cheating at the job?
Man, that cheating at the job shit don't work, man. For one, cheating when you leave, you can not only lose a job. Two, that shit'll follow you as far as you know, getting caught up in that sexual harassment shit. Because, you know, some chicks got ulterior motives on their way on how to move up the corporate ladder. I'm going to let y'all know, I never cheated on the job. But I did have relations with one person on the job. And that's another lesson that I learned, not once but twice. You never shit where you eat. I don't care if it's being kind and big riches, right? You know, us as men, when we going into the job, we do like to get our shit wet. So
we're stupid, man, when it comes to that.
Yeah, it is what it is. But when you learn a lesson from that, you start to look back on it as a wise man, as a person that's moving along more maturely in life. You say, hey, man, I'm not even going to touch that shit with a 10-foot pole, man. Reason why? Because that's my bread and butter. That's my means to survival. And I'm not going to let no amount of, you know, cooch, I don't care how tight, how wet, you know, how smooth, sliding down the slope and shit, waxed up and everything. But anyway, not getting on topic, but yeah, don't do that shit. Don't do it. You'll fuck yourself up and you'll regret it later on. Because you could be making millions more down the line, and if shit goes south, at least you could walk away with a clear conscience rather than having a bullseye on your back. Because I'm sure, if you haven't seen it already, most of these celebrities are not making money figures, CEOs and everything. Once you get taxed with some shit fucking around and you married on the job and that accusation comes up and you've been fucking with all of these women, then all of the women that you fuck with are going to come out of the woodwork. Whether you made a pass at them, said hello to them in the morning, or, you know, you may have undressed them with your fucking eyes, you know, you're going to get it. You're going to get screwed over.
Yeah. I had a guy not too long ago at my job, and one woman went forward about his sexual harassment, and 3 more went forward. Once they heard about, she went up front about it. 4 or 5. That's one thing about women. They will come together to take your ass down. Men don't do that shit. Women, they will actually get together and take your ass down. So cheating on the job or just even flirting with women on the job is something that you might watch because women talk. They know.
Hashtag me too, Jack Bill Cosby.
So yeah.
They posse up on you.
Yeah, they'll posse up on your ass for real, Pete. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is what you will lose when you cheat is now this is number 4, friends. You know, at the end of the day, you're going to lose friends if you cheat because, be honest with me, is I don't want to hang around no dudes that's cheating. So when I do get a girl, she going to think I'm going to cheat. You feel me? So a lot of times, if you're a cheating ass dude, then get the fuck away from me because you dishonest about your dick. Let's just be real. You know what I mean? So we talked about the dishonest simp last week. Like, if you're going to be a fuckboy and be honest fuckboy. But don't be that dishonest fucking simp ass dude. So I'm going to start off with Catherine on this one. How you feel about the losing friends when you cheat, or should you get away from people as friends when you find out they cheaters?
Yeah, I've heard that, like, you know, people I heard it more from guys. Like, I have guy friends that tell me, like, situations with their friends, and we talk, and he was like, man, I've been trying to lie for this nigga and stuff. He was like, man, his wife, he tell his wife he coming over to my house, but he really going to this chick house that lives near me. And so he was like, I'm kind of getting tired of it because she's looking at me a certain type of way, and I'm having to lie for her. So I know that just hearing from other guys, like, I haven't heard too many females like lose their friend, but I do have guy friends, and when we talk, I've heard them tell me, like, they get mad, they have to lie for their homeboy or whatever. when they want to go out and do something with another chick, they'll say that they at their house, and if the wife, calls, like, have you seen him? He's like, yeah, he was over here, whatever, like that.
Damn. All right. Michelle, you got any experience with losing friends because they was cheaters, or like had to like change your friends up because they was cheating or whatever?
Yeah, I keep referring back to this ex-marriage, so sorry, but it's really my only experience. But I was friends with someone, and she kind of knew that my ex-husband was trying to make a pass at her. And as a friend, you talk to my friend, you don't say anything. And I just, I'm to this day, like that wrecked the whole friendship. Like, we was really good friends, and I just feel like, you would still come over my house and, be around my children, and deep down that, there was an inappropriate gesture made towards you with cheating, and you didn't say anything. So I know some people will be like, oh, well, if you see someone cheating, do you say something or do you not say something? I feel like if you are somebody's friend and you're dealing with them on a daily basis and you're close, I think that, if someone that's my real friend and, I'm with someone that's making a pass at you, I feel like my real friend, first of all, they're going to check him, and then they're going to let me know what happened. I just think that's a loyalty thing. So I definitely think you could definitely lose friends from cheating.
All right, Big Rich, what you got on losing friends from cheating?
Oh, man, experiences personally. Hey, first off, man, not breaking away, but shout out to my brother D. Flemings up here in the motherfucking field, man. I see you in there, boy.
Him and Goldchild in there doing their business in that chat, boy.
They getting down.
I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all, brothers.
In the business, man.
I appreciate my brothers in the chat, man.
But yeah, man, I had a situation where I lost some friends that were actually, some of my ex-wives' girlfriends were they were family friends because they was always over the house. They was always hanging around, man. But I when I found out that they knew what she had been doing the whole time that she was doing it, and they were still smiling in my face or whatever, it burnt me, man. That hurt me to my core.
Mm-hmm.
Because they, what'd you say?
No, we just said, damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it hurt me to my core, man, because they was pretty good family friends, man. They was always over there, play, game night, watching games, watching movies. They was always hanging out, man. One of them had kids, and they would play with our kids and whatever, and that stabbed me to my heart, man, when they found out how she was getting down out here and was steady hiding it from me.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't anywhere near the hurt that she felt after I had found out she was cheating and they hadn't told me about it. The pain she felt from it was I turned around and ended up fucking both of them.
Mm.
And when she found out about that destroyed their relationship forever. And she knew them before we even got married. So it's a whole nasty thing, man, when you're dealing with things like that, man. You end up losing a whole lot of people, and it disrupts a whole lot of things, man, socially,
Yeah, that's fucked up. Mike, what you got on this topic of losing friends, man?
Man, I had to lose a few friends. A couple of people that I knew that I even grew up since like fucking high school with. High school. I'm talking about like, okay, say for example, my homeboy Dave. We knew each other for a while, and he was trying different girls out, so to speak. And I was rolling dolo. I wasn't concentrated and focused on that. And at times when me and him hung out, and he would get his honey over there, for some odd reason, I knew one or two things. Either he was fucking around on that chick, because that chick would more or less be you know, staring at him when I mean like the evil eye. Like, you ever seen when somebody be looking at somebody so hard they want to burn a hole through them? Or if they look at you, you feel kind of warm. You like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's shooting a fucking evil eye beam at me. But at one point, I was sitting next to him while he was outside on his porch, and she ended up rolling up on him, and I'm thinking, you know, maybe he did something wrong, or maybe, you know, he said something wrong to her, but she just straight up went at him with a knife. And I know the way how she was kind of like swinging at him to cut him for whatever reason. Come to find out that he got some other broad pregnant or whatever on her. She was, you know, he was in the military, but he had came out and got another chick pregnant on her when he was on his way back. So in the meanwhile, I'm thinking, yeah, man, it's a good get together. You know, everything's going good. I haven't seen you in some years, and I never had any idea or inclination that he was rolling like that. So I stopped fucking with him because at the same time, he almost got me injured or killed, you know? Well, I know that chick could have been swinging wildly, and that shit could have went in my knife or, you know, went in my lungs or in my chest. Swinging all wild like that because he's been swinging his dick all wild like that to other chicks. So I just stopped fucking with him. He was like, hey, man, you know, I'm sorry what I said. Hey, man, you know, you ain't got to explain nothing, but you just got to get all your shit together, man. Anyway, it was nice seeing you. And I just stopped fucking with him. Because who knows what else could come out of that just by being around them. Some people, you can't really be around them because whatever they do, it's like a whirlwind full of trouble. So I had to gracefully bow out of that situation and just, you know, let him go on his journey, whatever he's got coming to him. That was it.
All right, so that was number 4. So to go over it one more time so far before we get to number 5, family you can lose, your life you can lose, your job, friends. Now, I know I got a couple of people that's been on a panel that's been married, and I think they can relate to this. But the 5th thing you can lose that's on it, it's no particular order, but the 5th thing you can lose is your home. You know, at some point when you split with a person, somebody gets the house, somebody's either y'all gonna sell the house, whatever. It happens to my father and my older brother. The first marriages, they lost their home due to the divorce. So I'm gonna start off with Big Rich. I know he got experience with this, and then I'll go to Catherine, and then I'll go to Michelle about losing your home. Has this happened for you, Big Rich? Well, I know it has happened for you, Rich. How you feel about losing your home because of somebody cheating?
Yeah, bro, that's a painful memory right there. But it's you know, it's far removed from me, and I moved past it. But that's what my stance is. What it is now about commingling money and funds and whatnot, brother. Because I told you before, when I was married and my kids were young and we were divorced, the family home was awarded to her. But I was still responsible for paying the mortgage for 6 months after that. Then it turned over to her since she wanted it so bad. I tried to work out a deal with her, had my lawyer work out a deal to whereas I would get the home and she would move out and whatever with the kid. You know what I'm saying? With the kid, we both have custody of them, and she would go get her own place. We both have custody, but they stayed at my house most of the time. But she wanted to have the house, so the judge awarded her. She wanted to fight. The judge awarded her. She got it. I paid for it 6 months. After that 6 months of me paying the mortgage or whatever, about, I'll say 11, 12 months later, she ended up losing it, man. So she couldn't afford to do what she had to do to keep the house. So yeah, I mean, it took everything away from me, man, and she lost it anyway.
All right, Catherine, do you guys experience losing your home after somebody cheated in a breakup or whatever?
No, I didn't have a home, but I did lose other things. It wasn't home, maybe furniture and things like that. We didn't have a home when I was married. We were working up towards that, but hadn't got that yet. But yeah, I know people that have lost homes, so that was married, and they, because of the cheating and they divorced, they end up having to lose homes, vehicles too. Yeah.
All right, Michelle, what you got on this topic?
Yeah, I lost my home. We got a house together. We built it from ground up, and I think that was probably the most difficult thing for me because of the fact that we built that home together, and due to the issues that were caused, it made us split up. When we left, or when we split up or whatnot, I decided that I kind of had the choice, like if I wanted to keep the home or not, but under the circumstances, I couldn't personally deal with the memories of just, building that home like that. And it was very sickening to me, like to even have to go drop the kids off there. And, like it is difficult. It's a painful thing because it's like that was my life. And now my life is like upside down. And now I have to, figure this out because either way, I'm not happy. I'm not happy that I'm not in my house, and then I'm not happy that I got to go find somewhere else. Either way, it's just a devastating thing to build something and then it just feel like it's taken away from you. So, so I understand that completely.
All right, Mike, you know anything about people losing their homes with the cheating?
I mean, I've heard a lot of people losing their homes due to the cheating. If you ever get married with an individual, there's going to come a time when you have built up a lot of things with them, or when you allow them to come into your life. And if you're having everything done through a court, there's going to be a time of separation where you may lose a lot of things that you have come into the picture with, maybe not that of an individual. It's sad to say I've seen a lot of people lose a lot of things, but I never had that issue before. Usually, from my personal experience, when it's time to go, they just go their own way. And, I never put myself in a position to get that kind of separation through everything. I never went through that. I've seen it happen though. When people, the relationship don't work out and they got to go their own separate ways. But I never really put myself in that position. I've had times where I had to move out, but I never really lost a house or anything like that because I've always had my own after that.
Okay. All right. So that's number 5. Number 6, you can lose your health. Let's just be honest with you. A lot of times you go through depression. You can go through anxiety attacks. Just not, when a person cheat on you, you just be, you in denial. I had to go see therapy after, my marriage, and it really wasn't really cheating. It was more cheating with the finances. And things that I had to, realize that I'm not about to lose my health, worry about something that I couldn't control. And that's the hardest part about being what a person is. You can't control another person's actions. You only can control what you can bring to the table, and hopefully they mirror the same. So I'm gonna start with Michelle on this one about health. Has your health ever been affected with the cheating with your ex-husband?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like anytime someone goes through something that's like life-changing, there's always a possibility for you to experience some type of, something that you have to heal from, grieving and all that. So it's very hard to just wake up one day and be like, okay, the last 10 years didn't matter. I'm just going to move on with my life happy. So I definitely had to get counseling. And I definitely also had to find my space for me and relearn myself again, and within being by myself versus, being used to being in a marriage. So it definitely messes with your health because your mental, it messes with your mental because you definitely have to just, life is completely like starting over, so mentally. So it is hard, but yeah, I had to go to counseling. I felt like that was best for me so that I can deal with some of those unresolved feelings and emotions that I was having, and so that I could heal. So definitely.
All right. Mike, what you got on the health thing? Because I know you're seeing a lot of guys, go through it with this health thing about getting cheated on. A lot of simps out there.
Yeah, aside from that, a lot of people really need to be more concerned, more and more that we're undergoing a pandemic and there's a lot of crazy shit going out there. A lot of motherfuckers really need to be concerned. I've seen motherfuckers die from AIDS and HIV, fucking around, cheating, you know, thinking they getting a better deal. You know, they getting their shit wet. They're like, yeah, next thing you know, they going to the clinic, you know, sick. You know, that's a major turning factor. You fucking around with other people and shit like that. That shit will catch up to you. You go ahead and you get your willy wet in the wrong river, and you're going to end up in that fucking river in a box. I've seen people that'll be like, you know, hey, man, you know, what happened to this dude? Oh, nah, he got a really nasty throat infection. How did he get a nasty throat infection? He over here going down on certain chicks, not knowing where they coochie been. You know, motherfuckers gotta take pills for the rest of their life. You know, that shit is scary. You know, I've seen people, they're in hospice right now, you know, dying from AIDS. You know, that shit is real. When you fucking around, you're gonna get fucked around, and you don't even know who that individual fucked with. And they may have had a really loose life, and that person before them that they fucked with may have had a loose life as well, not knowing that they passing that shit on to that individual who's so freely to go out there and thinking that, you know, they getting it all good. That one moment of happiness, one moment of just sexual gratification can cost you your life. So I want people to think about that when they're going out there and living a little too loosely and not thinking about the consequences behind that shit. And it don't even matter if you got a condom on anymore, because there are some diseases that can pass through that shit. It's called osmosis. For those that don't believe me, look that shit up. It's not a game anymore out here.
All right. Catherine, what you got on this one?
Now, see, I agree with Mike, and that's the reason why I don't engage like that, because that's what I think about all the time. I'm too afraid of catching something, because I mean, just to be honest, most of these guys, I meet guys and they talk to me, and the first thing they talking about is what they'll do, go down, licking ass. And let me tell you, if a guy tells me he gonna lick my ass when I first meet him, I don't want nothing to do with it. That's a turn off. Like, I don't like that type of shit like that. Some people, it work for them, but that's not for me. So all those diseases and shit like that, I need to live for my kids, and I'm not into that. It's definitely dangerous to be messing around, and also it can cause depression and things like that come with it. So just don't do it.
Big Rich, what you got on this health thing, man?
Yeah, man, it hits your health, man, in all different areas, physically and mentally, man. After my divorce, I went through a period of time, man, where I was just, I was sleepless, man. I had insomnia. I was working daytime, you know, loading trucks, you know, drive my tow motor. At night, I was bouncing at the bars and stuff, man. I just wasn't sleeping. Even on my nights off, I just could not sleep, man. I ended up having a heart attack, man. And it definitely, but it affected my mental too, because, man, you know, stuff would break out at the club at night or at the bars, and instead of just throwing somebody out and grabbing them, breaking the fight up, man, I started cracking niggas' heads, man. And I look forward to having them break out in a fight, or someone to get rude with one of the bartenders or disrespectful to one of the other customers or whatever, because I just started straight up looking for a reason to crack somebody's head, man, and went through that, man, and almost got almost had to do some prison time for an incident that happened, man. So I ended up going into therapy, man, diagnosed, you know, with the chronic depression and whatnot, man. I was on antidepressants, man, for like 9 months, man. I finally weaned myself off of that, man. I just said I'm tired of taking this stuff, because it's depressing me knowing that I have to take this to control myself, man. And I felt like I was in a fog all the time, man. I really can't describe it, but it felt like I was just walking through life in a fog, man. But
hold on real quick. We got a call coming. I hope there ain't no damn troll.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Uh-oh, it's China. Uh-oh. What's up?
What's good? I just stopped by to see how y'all was doing.
You're blessing us with your presence, sis.
Yes, I wanted to stop by and see what y'all was doing. I was listening in from the cloud.
Okay. What you got on this cheating thing? What does it cost you, China?
What does what?
Cheating costs you.
Right. Oh, you lose trust. Like, you have a person lose trust.
Yeah, we getting at that. That's on the list, but that's the main thing you feel like, the trust thing, or any.
Yes.
Okay.
I think when it comes to you know what, give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna call y'all right back, okay?
All right, I know she a busy woman, y'all. All right, China. Call back. All right. You said you was cracking niggas' heads, huh, Big Rich?
Yeah, because, man, I couldn't control my anger, and I didn't even know and I wasn't angry with her no more. Time had passed by, man, but I had so much pent up in me, man. I was so angry, and I just looked, like I said, I would go to work hoping some shit would start so I could bust a nigga head, man. And like I said, I almost went to prison because of that, man. But it affected my health because I was on antidepressants for most of 1 year, and then I got off of that, man. And I stayed in therapy for 2 years because it was to the point I had, like I said, I had this anger, man, to where, man, and it was just it was a bad situation, man. That whole cheating thing and the whole divorce thing, man, affected me physically with the heart attack, man, and I was already born with a congenital defect, man, in my heart. I was born with a hole in my heart didn't already close, man. And then 35, I'm having a heart attack, going through the depression, the mental thing, man. It was just it's a monster, man. It can take you up out of here, man.
Yeah, it could definitely fuck with your health. That cheating and going through knowing that you was loyal to somebody and then they was unloyal to you. It'll fuck with your health. It'll fuck up with your decision making moving forward. When dealing with people, you get triggered. As soon as you see a man or a woman that got the same traits of the last person you was in love with, it can fuck you up. It really, usually when you break up with somebody or go through a divorce or anything, I always tell people to get therapy when they come to my channel or anytime they come for consultations. Is you got to get the professional therapy before you get the life coaching from me, because if your mind is not right, whatever I tell you is not going to matter. So how you feel about that, China, the health thing? I know you teach women on your channel how to be submissive and, have a clear mind. How you feel about the health thing, China?
I think it's very important for women to put their health first, but I want to say something. I'm sorry about jumping out. I just got a call from my daughter, and I wouldn't do that, but I had to take that call. But I think it's very important. In order for a woman to be healthy, is being her healthy mindset, right? And any man that a woman is dealing with, if he's not pushing her to take care of herself, and a lot of times we women, we get with men that want us to be in that closed-minded state, and it keeps us strapped. Because it's a form of manipulation, right? But a lot of women do go through that, and the best thing for a woman is her mental health. Whether her relationship with her kids, her man, her focus, her drive, everything. In order for a woman to be a healthy woman, it starts with your mind. And we are emotional. Men can tell, when I had something going on, Rich could tell I had something going on because I'm a woman and I'm emotional. And I was going through something at the time. And it was really deep for me last year. I would say somewhat around November. And it was bothering me, but I could not, even on this platform, it can't content. That's how it is for women. It will show. So it will show like a sore thumb, especially if we're going to take care of our minds,
Facts.
mental health.
Facts. That mental health is very important, guys. I mean, really dealing with a man or dealing with a woman, even for me now, if a woman can't man attract me, or man, I don't want to say man, fuck you, but oh, I said it. But anyway, if you can't,
my fuck.
if you can't be, attract me with the mind, get inside my mind, or knowing that you understand what's coming out of my mouth, I'm not even going to even have an attraction for you. So, older we get, the more mental health is very important, and you should be able to feed off of different people's energy as well. So if I can't feed off you as a woman, and vice versa, you can't feed off of me and man, what the hell are we doing? And it's really sad because a lot of people are cheating with people you can't get nothing from but the vag or the D. That's the bad part about this cheat thing.
And in that sense, Stack, you're cheating yourself, right?
Exactly. You're cheating yourself because what are you doing it for? A body count for your ego?
Yep. Some shallow carnal feelings that don't amount to anything, man. It's very, very low vibrational living, man. It leads to nowhere. Well, it does lead to somewhere. It leads to your destruction, man.
Facts. Then you got to reconnect and find yourself, which brings me to. Go ahead, China.
You know what a guy told me one time? A guy told me he got to a point. I think I was on a panel. Like, sometime when I first started, I was on a panel, and he was having sex with women, and he didn't even like them. That tells a lot. He was saying that he was having sex with the women, but he didn't even like the women. That's like some truth right there. I was like, what? I was so taken back by that comment. And a lot of people do have sex with people they don't like.
And
that's a fact, China, because I went through that a whole lot. That was part of my therapy after my divorce, because at that point, I hadn't even got to the point where I was dealing with several different women on an honest level, and them knowing about each other and whatnot. I was just going around sleeping with a whole bunch of different bras, just taking them home from the bar after I was working, bouncing and whatever. And I really had no feelings for them whatsoever. Sometimes I actually hated them. I disliked them. And I was running around just being so loose with my body because I had a big hole in my soul at that point.
And that brings me...
I was abusing myself.
That brings me to number 7 is respect. You lose respect for the person that cheated on you. You may even lose respect for yourself, like Big Rich said. So I'm going to start with Mike on this one. Mike, how you feel about losing respect for yourself or losing respect for the people that cheated on you?
I mean, at one point I lost respect for, myself, but, anything that's been broken down can be rebuilt back up. So my first intention was to rebuild myself by finding God. Once I got closer to God, things started to become all the more clear. If individuals that cheated on you, that just decided to just say, hey, fuck it, I'm gonna just cheat on you just to be cheating on you, and they don't necessarily need a reason. I looked to that for God, and God, He always sends messages, even though a lot of people won't see it. He might show you the flags, but He always shows you the way, especially when times when it gets dark and when shit gets hard. But the only thing I could say is this: He's gonna show you some things, but it's up to you to really see the situation for what it is and to move forward. Once you see the situation for what it is, or what He's trying to show you, or what He's trying to teach you, He can't steer you on. And I think with that being said, the individuals that I dealt with that did fuck around on me, or for the females that I felt weren't honest with me, they were further away from God. And all the shit that they were doing was more than likely going to bite them in the ass in the long run. So I'm glad that they did it to me now, and rather do it to me later on in the long run. So He already showed me, He already cleared the path for them to expose themselves of who they truly are and what their true intentions were. So that way I can have a path clear to myself to work better along the lines of finding somebody that's right for me. And when I found Him, all it took was for me to find Him. A lot of people have lost their way, or they don't believe in God or the Most High, and they just wandering around trying to fill an empty void to find their way because their souls have been weakened. So in order to give strength to their soul, you got to find yourself in a stronger connection with God. And with that being said, everybody that tries to come in your way or get in your path that's fucked up or that ain't right for you, you're gonna see them leave really quick. When you're when you're lined up with God, you're gonna see them leave real quick, or they're not gonna want to fuck with you because they know that He's watching and He's always guiding that path. Like, no, that person ain't for you. I'm gonna make sure they get taken away from you to go with somebody else. They're not for you. Nope, that person ain't for you. Nope, that person ain't for you. And then when you start going straight on that path, you say, you know what? I believe in you, God. I'm gonna trust you. I owe you. I love you, and I love for those that got love for me, and I love those that got love for you. So I'm gonna keep going along that path, and I'm not gonna stop. So He says, you know what? That person ain't for you. That person ain't for you. Move. Nope, I don't want you to have them. Nope, let them have them. That person is right for you. I guided you along that path. I cleared the way for you to have that path with that person. People see that shit and they may even get it thrown at them. And they may not even accept it. They're like, nah, I don't want this person. This person is too lame. And then when they end up chasing after the one person that they wanted, but that didn't want them, and they say, man, I can't seem to find the right person. And God is like, hey, look, I gave you so many opportunities. That person was right for you. That's the person that I wanted you to have because I want you to have a future with them. That individual is right for you, not all them other people. But since you chose to choose the wrong people, you ended up by yourself because I'm trying to help you.
Facts. Michelle, respect. Did you have to earn, build respect back for your ex-husband to co-parent? Or what you got on the topic?
I would say, yeah. I don't think I did never not respect him, especially when it came to the kids, because even though we didn't work out, he's a great dad. So I never really lost respect for him, but I did have to forgive, and I did have to focus on myself and continue to build my relationship with God. I'd have to do some self-reflection because it is difficult to try to be cordial with a person who has done something, especially feeling like you wrecked your whole life. You know what I'm saying? So it is difficult, but I didn't lose any respect for him. I mean, the situation is what it was. So I don't know. I just feel like everybody deserves to be treated with respect unless you're being disrespectful. I'm not really gonna not have respect for someone unless they're like just being outraged, like seriously disrespectful to me. So even though that happened, I still respected him unless I have to as my kid's father. That's not gonna change. So there's no point in trying to like make it any less than what it is. It's what it is. So I wouldn't say I've lost that respect, but I definitely had to find myself in that process all over again. So that's definitely a thing.
So I'm going to
ask you a question.
I'm about to go to China on this one. But I was going to you got to have the floor, China, on this one because I know you talk about respecting yourself as a woman on your channel and stuff. How much respect has to be rebuilt for yourself after getting cheated on, or just moving with respect for yourself, because at some point it's a lot of women on these platforms, on Instagram and all these platforms, that's not even respecting themselves. Can you relate on that?
Well, like, this is the situation. I think that I would never put myself in that box. I say it's a box because a lot of women tend to believe that a man can only be with her forever, and I don't believe that. And like, I go back to the biblical days, I go back into times, and I like to do a lot of research on how we lived back then. That right there helps me to be as close as possible to my makeup, right? But if we're taking on the rules of what this world gave us, let's say like we're in America and we have to live by the rules, a lot of women pick up those rules. A lot of people live the way that this structured lifestyle, this delusional lifestyle. And I think a lot of women put themselves in that box because they actually believe that they can give this man 100% until the day that they
they die. Now, we have clear examples of couples and relationships, our grandparents doing that, but we truly don't know what took place behind the scenes with our fathers and our grandfathers, but we still use them as, oh, you know, my grandparents been together for this many years and my mother and father, but they will never tell us, the children, what took place behind the scenes. So when we're talking about a man cannot be attracted to one woman to the day he dies. Men in divine order, he can have many children with many different women. And I think when women focus more so on having that one man, I can please this one man, that's putting yourself in a box. And it's not actually embracing your household. Now, I'm not trying to veer off. I'm just saying a lot of women put themselves in that box instead of understanding that, you know what, my man is going to be attracted to other women. You know, and if you're more open with a man about his decisions to deal with another woman, or a man is more open with a woman he can go to and talk to. But a lot of women are so jealous. A lot of women are so scared of losing their man that he hides his craving. And that's the biggest rule for a wife, for a woman that's dealing with a man. If you don't know what your man craves and desires, you don't know him. Because a woman should know her man's sexual appetite off the rip. And if you don't know that, then he's not telling you nothing. And I think a lot of women put themselves in a box, and then it brings on them hurting their own feelings. Like, you know what I mean? It's going to put a lot of stress on women once you don't understand the makeup of a man. And when you're dealing with a man, you must know what he desires. You must know the things he craves. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
All right. Catherine, what you got on the respect? You know, you lose respect for a person that cheated on you, or do you even lose respect for yourself if you cheat on somebody? Catherine, you there? Or did we lose her? Or she fall asleep?
She hit that mute again.
You on mute, Catherine? All right, Rich. I hope she'll come back in. Rich, what you got on the respect aspect of cheating?
Man, I lost a whole lot of respect for my ex-wife when we cheated. I didn't have anymore, and like I say, that's what made me go ahead and get up out the house. And I couldn't forgive her because, like I said, I was talking to her disrespectful around the children. If I stayed there any longer, I'd end up going upside her head or something. Because I couldn't respect that after that situation happened. And I'm gonna address this vibe ration that's in the chat here. We made a comment up here a little while ago talking about I subconsciously didn't like myself, and it wasn't the women that I was sleeping with that I disliked. But he's right on that one point. And I didn't like the women, but I didn't like myself at that time. So I lost more respect for myself because I thought at that time being mentally hurt had me thinking I wasn't worthy. Having to, her doing that to me after I did all the work and was trying to be a good father or whatnot, man, it took me a whole lot of time, man. It took me some years to realize that I was worth it and I could stand and hold my head up, man. And I was a whole man, but as Mike told us, man, the key to that was getting back in touch with God.
Facts.
And he's going to guide you. And if you have him in your life, man, everything's going to fall right into place, man. And I just, after that, I got to the point, man, where I watched who I was around, watch who I messed with. Like my nigga D. Flemings always tell you, man, protect your energy. You have to do that, man. And as long as you're protecting your energy by relying on the Most High, man, he'll guide you to where you're supposed to be. But yeah, that respect thing is a big thing you lose, man, in relationships with infidelity, man.
All right. Well, Catherine got us on hold, so she must be taking a call. So we're going to move on to number 8 is, you lose. Well, this is not losing, but you have a guilty conscience when you cheat, And I always tell people it's you versus you, be on your plan, your purpose, your program. And you can't get nothing productive done if you're literally guilty about what you've done in the past. Catherine, you back?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
You out in the streets again. I hear you already. Yeah.
I am, because I'm trying to do them good. I'm trying to be faithful here and do my.
She's trying.
Look, I'm trying to multitask. Look at me. I'm on my game. What's the question? Let me get that answer for you.
All right.
What it is, yeah.
What respect did you lose from people from cheating, or have you lost respect for yourself when you did cheat?
Yeah, you definitely lose respect. When you get cheated on, yeah, you don't feel the same way because you can't trust that person, and you like the person will put you in a situation where, man, every time you look at them, you probably upset with them because of what they did, and I didn't have when I in my cheating situation, he didn't know about it, so he didn't know what he didn't know. Things was okay with that. It was probably my own guilt, like I said, behind it, but he didn't know about it.
So did you feel guilty at all? Because that's our next one is guilty.
Yeah, I was definitely guilty. That's what I said. Yeah, I definitely felt guilty, and that's why I didn't want to do it. I just kept thinking about it, and yeah, it took me a while to get past that. And then the person that I cheated with was on my job, so when I had to see that person, it was just a constant reminder of it. So it wasn't good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, China, I want you to take this one. The guilt a woman may feel when she gets cheated on, or the guilt that she had to live with by cheating on her man. I know you talk about men, do women feel like they're not good enough when a man get caught cheating?
I don't say this because I don't believe men cheat. I don't. I'll say if he's not keeping it 100, if he's not telling me the women he's dealing with, I'll talk about that part.
That's right. Only when he lied.
No. Listen, like as long as I know who the woman is, like I'm cool with it. So I don't believe a man cheats. I feel like men have big appetites, right? But I'm gonna say this. It's kind of like, hold on, like, so you actually pedestalize me higher than yourself to lie to yourself? Because I feel like you lying to yourself. You ain't actually lying to me. Like, I know it's there. I feel like people gonna do what they're gonna do. Like, I try not to take on other people's burdens. That's one of the things I'm not gonna do. It's kind of like what Jada Pinkett told Will Smith about like 10 years ago. They were trying to pressure her on Will Smith sleeping with different women. You know what she said? She said, I want him to be able to sleep at night. Whatever he does, as long as he's happy, I'm happy. Like, I don't want to carry another person's burden. It's like the older you get, the wiser you become as a woman. So, like, that's me and you are dealing with each other, me and Rick. If you want to get another woman, and I found out that you're dealing with another woman, it's cool. That's fine. But don't try to place your guilt on me because you stepped out or you did something that wasn't right. Like, see, I don't play those type of games because I feel like we are both adults, and you shouldn't have to lie to me because I'm a very open woman. And when I'm with my man, I want me and him to be copacetic as possible. I want us to be flowing. I want us to vibe on the same level. When it comes to that lying stuff, I feel like at that point, I don't have no respect for you. It's kind of like, I feel like men live a lie when they start lying to themselves. When they start lying to people, you live a lie, and I cannot respect you as a man.
Facts. All right, Rich, what you got on the guilt part of cheating, and have you seen it and have you experienced it?
Yeah, man, I see it all around me all the time, man. That's why I say I don't believe in that traditional marriage thing no more, man. It's a situation. I'm in a situation where I have several people that I deal with, and the one was introduced to me by one of the other women I deal with. And but the thing is, they all know about each other. We don't always harmoniously get along, but they respect me and they still take care of me. Now, if any kind of loyalty on their part, disloyalty on their part transpires, and that's you ain't on the team no more. You know, you guys go somewhere else, man. But I don't lie to anybody. I treat them all like queens, you know, and they all treat me like a king. And that's the way it's supposed to be, man. But as far as lying to somebody, that's when you're a cheater. That's when you're disloyal. That's when you have no honor. And there's no place for that, man. I can't even stand being around cats that are like that, man. That they got women that they ducking and dodging and lying to and this and that, man. Be real about it. You know, that's the only way you're going to get respect. If you can't be real about it, then what do you really think of yourself?
Facts. All right. Michelle, you got anything on, you know, people being guilty from cheating or living in the guilt mindset?
Yeah, I think that nowadays there are so many different types of, you know.
You're a little muscle.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said nowadays I think there are so many different types of, you know, relationships. I think that, you know, what works for some may not work for other people. So it is definitely all about honesty. From my experience, because I was in a committed relationship with that one person, he definitely felt guilty about what he was doing afterwards, but not while he was doing it. So I just think that I agree with everybody as far as like people not being honest about it. I just feel like if you're gonna do something that's not within the agreement of whatever type of relationship it is that you're having, you should just be honest about it. And you know, that's just my opinion. So,
thanks, Mike. What you got on the guilt trip, or just guilty about you doing what you do? You know, we talked about the dishonest simp last week.
I mean, as far as an individual trying to guilt trip a person about what's going on, I'm gonna say it like this: if an individual is worth their own salt and they speak on those words and they stand on them, they have to be prepared to deal with the consequences that comes behind that. See, me, if I was a cheater, if I was fucking around like that, which I don't really, you know, I haven't really been too fond of. I've been really living the single life a majority of the time. Before I actually got into relationships, so I always let the person know what it is from the jump. That way, if they, you know, they say, well, it's all your fault, I could be like, nah, you know, I already told you what it was from the jump. It was up to you to accept that. As far as an individual being dishonest, as far as, you know, trying to guilt trip a person after saying, hey, look, I fucked around on you because of the fact that I felt, and I'm just really disgusted at the fact that that individual couldn't be true to themselves. I mean, the consequences are going to come sooner or later, but why not just be honest with that person from the jump rather than fuck around and let them find about how dishonest you are later on? That makes you look like shit, like you ain't really worth nothing because you didn't even put that value in yourself to take the time to tell that other individual that, look, I ain't about shit and I ain't never going to be shit. So as soon as I figure out that you ain't shit either, pow, so be it. Just be upfront with them from the jump. That way they could basically just opt out and not have to be put through that kind of situation from the jump. That person will have more respect for you and either just move on or accept that bullshit that's going to come later on down the line if they're not comfortable with it. Period.
Facts. All right, so the next one, number 9, we almost down to 10. I put trust on this one. I know China touched on trust, and you gotta be able to. I feel like a lot of times you gotta be able to trust a person, period. But you know, cheating brings trust issues, and I feel like a lot of cheating. I think guys got trust issues. Let's just be real. It would be a thing called red pill if trust wasn't involved with that. You know, seeing a woman's nature in full display fucks man up, you know, and guys as alpha males understand how women like to get down. So the trust thing is, you know, something some people can't recover from when they get cheated on. So China, I don't know what you teach the women on your channel about trusting men again, but how would you feel about just trust, period, you know, in this conversation of cheating? But you say you don't believe no cheating.
This is what I tell women. This is what I tell women. No, because a lot of women do deal with that, like dealing with men that lie to them, dealing with men that play with their emotions. I do understand that. So, this is what I tell women. In order for you to heal yourself, because I had to go through that as well as a woman. I had to go through trust issues, and it wasn't from cheating. I'm going to say alone, trusting again. You start with trusting yourself, trusting your judgment. You wasn't wrong for what you seen and what you heard. Once you start trusting who you are as a woman, that is when you can. It doesn't hurt you anymore. When a person lies to you, you can weed out the fake. You can see the lies come out their mouth once you start to love yourself. Because a lot of times, when women deal with men and we get taken advantage of, we start to lose our hindsight, our intuition. We start to question ourselves, and that's due to the fact that we put more of. It's like when a woman gives you the authority over her, she's trusting you, and we naturally do this. This based off being caught up over you as a man. So when we get in a situation with a man and he starts to lie, and let's say it could be financial, he's not paying the bills. Let's say he's dealing with another woman, he's paying her bills. Let's say he's leaving the children at school, he's not picking up the kids. Let's say he's not coming home at night. Let's say it could be anything. But once those things start to happen, we tend to overlook those things and cover up his flaws with his lies, and we start to believe in the lies, and we start to question ourselves. I tell every woman, if you have ever been in a relationship with a man and it was some sort of lies and deceit, you have to act first. You got to start loving yourself again, because you can't tell me when you're in a relationship, oh, you feel like this amazing woman and you feel like you can love again. No, we be broken as hell, we be broken, and then we try to rebuild it, and a lot of times we reflect on what we once had with that person, and we miss those things, and then we start beating ourselves up. No, I'm going to love myself, I'm going to love my body, I'm going to love my mind, I'm going to weed out the fake, and I'm going to listen very clear, and once I hear a lie, I'm going to question you on that lie. And if you don't like it, if you don't like, see, many men, they're not going to go back and forth with a woman if she's asking a question. If a man starts to argue with a woman off of a question, then that means he's hiding something. And I don't play those games. So I tell women, you gotta love yourself. Even if you are alone with your children, you gotta love yourself. And that's it.
Catherine, what you got on the trust thing since you out in those streets?
You know what? I'm gonna have to hold on, because I'm up here trying to follow the damn GPS too. I'm going to have to let this be the last answer for me for tonight, guys. Okay. Now what did you say? What I have on for trust?
Yeah.
I'm turning right here. Yeah, you. Does that mean that you gotta trust somebody? Is that what I'm sorry. I'm really all out of it. I'm sorry because I'm trying to drive.
You got off track
I'm trying to follow, and they can't drive out here in Dallas, so y'all gotta know that it's crazy as hell. And I'm trying to follow this and do the same thing.
You want me? We'll just come back to you.
We probably just gonna have to end. I'll be next week. Guys,
all right.
And next week I'll be ready. I promise.
All right. Catherine on the streets. She got them kids gone for the holiday. I mean, for the spring break. She in the streets. All right.
All right.
Michelle, what you got on trust?
I feel like trust is something that is a big deal. If you don't, me personally, that's like the thing for me. I have a zero tolerance. If I don't trust you, that's it. There's nothing that you can do or say that's going to get me to try to stay in a relationship, marriage, pursue anything new. I can't be with somebody. If I can't trust you, it's over. And I'm not about to sit around here and rack my brain trying to go through your phone and figure out who you're talking to. I don't have the energy or the patience or the tolerance for that. So if you break that trust, or if you give me a reason to not trust you, then I'm just gonna move on, because I don't have time to dwell on something that it just don't work for me. So I mean, trust is a big deal, and you have to earn it, you have to build it, and to build trust and to make it a thing, if for someone to break it, that's just it. Like, that's just a thing. Trust is a big deal. That's like my number one thing. I don't deal with people, period, in general, that I don't trust. I don't. So.
All right. Big Rich, what you got on this trust thing, bro?
Man, I don't trust nobody. I don't trust nobody as far as I can throw them. The thing is, with women, I don't believe there's good women and bad women. There's just women. Brother, to be honest, I don't even trust myself all the time. I trust in Almighty God, Jehovah. That's who I trust in. And he guides my thoughts and he guides my actions.
Mm-hmm.
But when you put trust in people, you're doing yourself a disservice, because we're all flawed. And people are going to be people. Now, if you're dealing with someone that's going to be malicious to you and be dishonest to you, I have such a good barometer on that kind of energy, man, and I tend to spot it from a long ways away, brother, and that comes from years and years of just vetting people out.
Mm-hmm.
But it can happen with anyone. That's why you don't expect too much out of women.
Mm-hmm.
You don't expect too much out of other men when you just give them the respect that they earn.
Mm-hmm.
After that, there is no trust this way or that way. It's just that you watch how people move, you watch their energy, and you stay away from them if it don't feel right to you.
Facts.
And if you have God in your life, he'll point them people out to you.
Mm-hmm. That's like Mike said.
We make mistakes is when we think that we know a little bit more than he do.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, brother, you just gotta respect where respect is earned, and that's it. Other than that, man, I don't trust no woman. I don't expect nothing out of a woman either.
Mm.
When you expect, that's when you get disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Facts. It's never the end all be all. You have to trust in yourself to love somebody else in the first place. So you got to trust in yourself. So Mike, what you got on the trust thing, man? Mike, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro. I forgot to hit the fucking mute button.
Nah, it's all good. We lost China, but hopefully she called back. But go ahead. What you got on the trust, Mike?
Okay, cool. I can't, agree no more than what my boy Big Rich was talking about, man. You gotta have trust in God, man, because a lot of the shit, that's where it stems from. You'll be tested, and in this day and age, in this life, you'll be tested. And in the past life, we were tested. In the present, we're being tested. In the future, we will also be tested.
Mm.
And when you put your certain trust in certain things that are flawed, you will fall for certain shit. You will be, pushed off track. And, when you have a certain amount of trust, to be trustful for a good thing, as far as knowing who you are, you just have to stay closer to God, man. He'll show you, the path that you're supposed to be on, rather than the path that a lot of people have traveled and failed along that road. But if you put your trust in God and you just say, listen, I'm going to go on that straight path. I know what I got to do. Whatever's not meant for me never, really meant to be for me. And I'm just going to put my trust in him, that he's going to let me know what's meant for me and what's not. That's it.
I'm going to say something. As humans, we're our creatures of habit. And at the end of the day, we have to trust the process. We have to trust our falls. We have to trust that when we get knocked down, we got to get back up and start a new you. And understand that process is going to come with some pain. But through the pain, when you fight through the pain, the light is at the end of the tunnel. And a lot of times I feel like we get conditioned that our life is this way and we live our life in a loser's mentality, understanding that we got to go through the hits in life similar to, I'm paraphrasing what Rocky told his son, if you're going to go through life, you got to be willing to take the hits. And that's trusting with God and what the faith is down the road for you. Because at the end of the day, people are going to either be with you or against you or in your way. You got to weed those people out. And the only way you weed those people out is trusting in God. So that's why this platform is there. Nobody, you can't tell me people don't find my platform if they're not trying to get better, or they've been broken, or it's all kind of content I do weekly that people that came here and gave me their trust that I'm in a right area to better my life, to understand from me, or me understand from you guys, because I learned as well. So I'm glad that you guys are here and you guys trust me, and I trust y'all being on my platform and sharing these videos and helping and saving somebody's life, because we all been through something. And somebody right now listening for the first time, or going to listen for the first time 2-3 weeks from now, 2-3 months from now, is going to hear this and be on a different path in life. But the path toward with trusting yourself, like I always tell you guys, is you versus you. It's not you versus anybody else. You can't trust that your friends are going to make the right decision for you, but you can trust in your Lord and Savior that He's going to put you through something. What they say, if He is He never going to put you something that you can overcome anything pretty much. But God know everybody's pressure points. There's a story behind every face. What Big Rich went through and what he overcame in his life is going to be different than mine. So, but always trust the process, guys. That's what I want to say. You want to add something, Rich? I thought you said something.
No, I was just saying peace to D. Flemings, man. He said he got to get on out of here, man.
All right, yeah, we almost done, D. Fleming, but thanks for holding it in, man. Holding it, staying in there and holding down that chat, man. Golden Child 2. So we on number 10 now, guys. This is the last one. But before we get to number 10, we're going to do an overview. The first one, the 10 things you lose when you cheat, was your family, your life, job, friends, your home, your health, respect. You even live with guilt, number 8. And number 9 was trust. And the last thing I feel like you lose when you cheat, especially in these days, is your money. Let's just be real honest. You choose to cheat, you will lose money. Like we already said, homes and friends and all that other stuff. But you're definitely going to lose some money down the line, playing all these, acting like a dancing monkey just to get some from a woman or some from a man. You're going to lose some type of money in the long run, especially if you get caught cheating. So I'm going to jump in with I'm going to start with Mike on this one. Mike, how you feel about cheating and people lose money from cheating?
I mean, what you mean as far as how do you feel about people losing money from cheating?
Yeah, because people, you cheat, you cheat, you might be spending money to cheat. You might be, you might cheat on a person, then you lose another income in your house. You lose money when you cheat. When you make that decision to cheat, you lose things. Yeah. Like Big Rich wife lost the house because she didn't have him as a provider no more because she cheated. People lose money because they cheat.
Yeah, people lose money, they lose time, and they lose investments. All of that time, effort, and energy, into cheating. When it's all said and done, you end up losing out on the bigger picture, period, because you invested so much of that into the wrong thing. It's just about as bad as putting holes in a water pocket. You got a water pocket, you have the water, you have the means, the resources. But if you're cheating, you're poking holes all in that pocket, and all of that money is draining fast. All of that water is draining fast. All of those resources are draining fast because you're investing into the wrong thing. Something that you're not even supposed to be doing. You're pissing your money away at it. You're pissing everything away.
Pissing it away. Go ahead, Mike.
Pissing in the wind.
If you look at most of the successful men in this world, they do have a person that they pair bond with, because they know, men that chasing women, that's going to lose a lot of money, but you never lose women chasing money. So with that being said, I'm on jump on with Big Rich. How you feel about the money aspect of losing money when you cheating out here in these streets?
And it's horrible, bro. You know my personal experience, and then that about the house, that's one thing. But I'm thinking about these guys that's running around out here actively in the act of cheating, man. I mean, you're a trick at best. Because and the reason why I call you a trick is because you paying more money out running around cheating than you would just to pay a prostitute. You running around out here because you gotta do something. If you're cheating, you gotta do something outside of what you normally do to get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
And most men are stupid. Like I say, we get caught more than women do. But whether you paying for hotel rooms, whether you paying to sneak to some restaurant on the other side of town, whether you just coming out of pocket with money in the short term, and in the long term, you can lose money in the sense of having to get a lawyer when she gets bitter and finds out that you're not going to cut something off with the person that you're with, and you running around and messing with them, and then they make a false accusation about you. Now you got lawyer fees, you got court costs, you got all kind of things, man. It can bring financial ruin. Yeah, so money is a big thing, man.
You're cheating yourself in the long run by just cheating. Let's be honest. All right, Michelle, what you got on people losing money when they cheat?
I agree with everybody's saying. I mean, you can definitely lose money, like you said. Some people, they pay them for dates, and I mean, that's like I don't know. I think it just depends on the situation, but you definitely can lose money.
Did you see some things happen different in your household when your husband was cheating with these women with financials?
He was a pro.
Okay.
If there was some things going on, I didn't know about it, but as far as finances, we both had access, so I could kind of see everything. So if he was sneaking money around, I don't know how he was doing it. He was getting some extra cash from somewhere, doing something, sneaking it. But I didn't see that happen like financially to my household. But I do know that like after everything was said and done, the aftermath of it, he was spending money. He was flying girls here. He was definitely spending money. So he cheat too. So I knew that him doing that, he was probably trying to impress somebody or whatever. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go over the list one more time, and then I'm gonna have y'all close and see what's big to you guys on this cheating thing. 10 things you lose when you cheat is your family, your life, your job, your friends, your home, your health, your respect. You live in guilt, trust, and money. So I'm gonna start with Michelle on this one. I know I just went to you, but anything that pointed out that you felt like that was real something that's life changing that could help somebody or somebody out here listening that's overcoming getting cheated on. What's one thing that they that they need to work on first? Because I know we talk about mental health, but what's one thing that point out that might be one thing? Because I mean you've been through it, so
right.
What one thing, the steps to get back to normal?
Yeah, I would say the first thing is just like the living situation. Once that happens and you split up from a person, that is like I felt like was the most difficult thing besides trying to get my kids to transition to the change. So once the living situation was under control, where I figured out, where I was gonna, be at or whatever, and it was my choice. Once I figured that out, then I was able to focus on trying to, rebuild my life as a single woman, and it was almost like I had to get to know myself all over again, because now it's like I'm not married Michelle, now I'm single Michelle. So now I have to be out here, and the world is different from 10 years ago. It's different. So I would definitely say taking time to yourself, and you have to heal.
And sometimes a lot of people, they like to jump out of like one thing and then hurry up and jump into something else and think it's going to make them feel better, when really you can't, your mind is not mentally ready. You have to literally like take time to yourself and really, you know, take that time to heal. And, you know, I was still grieving and didn't even know it. So I'm out here, you know, trying to just figure it out. And this world is just crazy. So definitely taking that time to heal. And when I went through my situation, you know, another thing that helped me is I did a lot of journaling. So I would write down a lot of things about how I felt. And I would also just make different goals and stuff for myself so that I can focus my attention and my time on something else versus like that negative situation. So always trying to surround myself around positive people and do positive things and do things that, you know, I wanted to always do that I didn't do when I was in that relationship, and you know, finding out things that I was passionate about and figuring out what I actually really like and what I don't like. So I think the best part about it is that you get to renew yourself and you get to find yourself in a different way. And then once you heal and you figure out, you know, okay, so when you figure out things in life that you actually enjoy because you're taking that time to focus on yourself, then it's easier for you to allow like somebody else to enter your life because you're starting to know more of who you are as a person. But I feel like I was a whole completely different person after coming out of that marriage. I was not the same person that I am today.
Facts. Really, when you get divorced, it's like going through a death. You gotta reconnect with yourself. So I'm gonna get past the mic over to Big Rich. What you wanna, you know, what one thing that you know that I talked about that stood out that's gonna help somebody that you could say to somebody out there that's been going over the process of somebody cheating on them, man?
Well, man, what you just said there was spot on, man. It's like going through a death because there's a whole grieving process. And don't be shy, and especially as Black people, we have a problem with not being able to admit when we need help. If you need some counseling, reach out to somebody. This panel is a good way to let things go. Find a group, find some supportive people that aren't engaged in that sort of thing. Because you don't want to be around those you want to leave that kind of energy alone. Like if you're drinking too much, you don't go hanging out at a bar. Or if you got a drug problem, you don't go hang around with dope fiends or whatever. You get away from that situation. You get away from that atmosphere. So if you're coming out of something, get some wholesome people to be around. Get you a group. Get you some counseling. Don't be afraid to admit when you need mental health, because mental health is synonymous with physical health. And both of them can cause problems with the other. So respect yourself. But the main thing I want to say about it, and I'm talking to you fellas out here right now, just don't do it. I know that that's simple and simplistic, but I mean what I say. Just don't do it. Because how would you feel if someone was dishonest with you and you on the tail end of that? Doesn't feel nice. But we're not going to be so cliche about it. But listen, when you're spending time out here running around cheating, it's like my dude BOA always say, man, you expending energy doing all that. You're the biggest trick in the world. And all that energy that you're expending right there, you're taking away from the energy that you could be using to make yourself the most alpha version of yourself. So you're doing yourself a disservice. You're nothing but a simp. You're nothing but a trick. If you're out there doing that kind of thing and you feel like you got a lot of women to kick it, and you're a grown man and you calling yourself a king, brother, you a punk. You ain't no king. So don't lie to people. Be honest about yourself. Be honest about your dealings. Be able to hold your head up, man, and focus on bettering yourself every day.
Facts.
That's all I can say, man.
Facts. All right. Mike, what's going on, man? You got the last word. What you got to say, Mike?
Man, I'm going to say it like this, man. Like my homeboy, fucking Big Rich said, man, that's some real words right there around the panel. I want to be the best that I can be out of life. I want everybody to be the best that they can be out of life too. You know, listen, become more close with God, most of all, since we're going through these times right now. I want to say thank you, Stacks, for, you know, bringing us a wonderful channel. I want to say thank you to everybody who's, you know, on the panel. I want to say thank you to everybody, all the viewers and listeners out there. Be more truthful with yourself. If you know that you're in a situation that you don't really want to be in, and it's due to, you know, you having dealings or, you know, different relationships with people that are not worth their salt, just stop fucking with them. If you know you're in a position where you're causing some kind of injury on someone else's end, and you don't want to be on the tail end through karma, just don't do it. You know, listen to your heart. Most of all, don't be a simp. Don't be a lame. Don't be a pussy. Don't be any of that negative shit. Be the best person you could be for your future, and you never know who may be watching, who may be counting on you to be a better person, a better individual out in life. And I want to say, be careful who you're dealing with. Don't be so willing to, you know, have those kind of relationships with an individual so freely. Get to know them first, because you don't really know what you're getting into.
Fact.
As far as physically, on the physical level. Now, on the mental level, make sure you have an individual who's on the level, that sound of mind. That way you don't end up losing yourself mentally by dealing with them. Because you have to always protect yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and most of all, spiritually. If that person's energy is not inclined with yours, pull away from them, or they will drain you of your life force, and you won't have anything left. You will die slowly until you're dead. So don't do it. You know, I want to say I love all of y'all. I'm about to get off this shit, but thank you once again, Stacks, for making me a better person. I want to say thank you to all my peeps on the panel. Big Rich, I love you. I know what y'all do out here, man. Keep that shit up. Keep that good spiritual, you know what I'm saying, rhythm going. Ladies, I want to say thank y'all most of all for joining the panel, for teaching the other ladies something. Fellas, teach each other something out there. You know, be good to one another. Most of all, believe in God, and he'll lead the way, man. Thank you.
Facts. All right. Well, next week we're gonna do. I know one topic I want to talk about is the double standards between just people and period. You know, it's double standards all over the place, and we need to break down some of these double standards so we get an understanding of what's going on with society. So double standards is going to be definitely Saturday show. I haven't came up with a topic for Sunday show, but we definitely is going to do 2 shows next week. And then in April, I'm going to probably go back to 1 show on we're going to go back to Stack Attack Sundays. Y'all working the shit out of me, man. I'm working at work and doing these 2 live streams, but it's worth it because it's helping somebody. But in April, we're gonna
appreciate you, Stack, man. You're doing a good job, man. Your self-sacrifice doesn't go unnoticed, man. You're helping a lot of people, brother, including myself.
Facts. Because I'm not gonna be like all that. I'm no hating on nobody else's content creators, but sometimes they talk about the same shit the next one talk about. Mine be a little bit different. Y'all be like, damn, Stackton got something different going on every week on this channel, and that's
because you get down to the nitty-gritty of life, man. Because all these things affect. It's not just a one-way track. It's not just about chasing women, man. You're getting down into all aspects of life, building us up brick by brick, giving us a foundation to build upon, man, so we can build an empire for ourselves, man.
Facts.
I love this thing that you're doing. You in your own lane, man, and you doing it, brother.
Facts. I appreciate that because like I said, I would never look at another channel and say, well, I need to go here and jump over here and talk about Lisa Moan and all this. I don't do that. Like, I do what's going to happen for the everyday person. I get views, a lot of views go to the popular topics. Cool if you want to try to be like some people that you like Dr. Dre, which you never could touch in your life. But if you want to be an everyday average person and talk about average shit, which is in your lane, that's what this channel is about. Everyday average people talking about average stuff that's going to help your life. Who cares what Dr. Dre going through? Who cares what all these rich people going through? Let's just talk about what we could go through and how we can help each other. So that's just what my channel is about. So, but with that being said, I appreciate everybody calling in. Thanks, Michelle, for your first time calling. Did a pretty great job. We do get great women calling in, on, especially on their first time. I'll be like, damn, where they come from? God sent them here. So,
Michelle, it was a pleasure having you. I enjoyed your conversation.
Thank you. I enjoyed the conversations and the advice and everyone's opinions as well.
So if anybody out there that's hesitant to call or never called and be listening, your voice is to be heard to help somebody, because everybody, like I said, we're creatures of habit, but at the end of the day, we have to trust the process, because even if God tell you to call, you may help somebody on the other end listening. So do that. But with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm about to get me something to eat, and then I'm about to put my son to sleep. I can hear him right now. He in there having fun in the other room. It's time for him to go to bed. It's school night. So with that being said, peace and salute. Salute to my boy Golden Child, my boy D. Flemings. Thanks for China Right for coming in the building. And I appreciate everybody. Love y'all. I'll holler at y'all. Have a good work week.
All right. Peace, Stack.
Peace.
One.